Greetings, Divine Radiance. Before we get started, can we just send some love and light to this gentleman that's been escorted off? I was attempting to wait until they were done with what was going on, but let's just all send him some love and light. I believe there's some mental stuff going on with him, but yeah, so welcome. I am Nahkila Isha of AshworthScott Life Sculpting. I'm a divine interpreter, interpreting messages and methods from the divine that empower you to create and live an abundant life. So I came to Starbucks because apparently, well, my dad doesn't have internet and the Wi-Fi wasn't working over there. So here I am. And yeah, I believe this gentleman has some mental issues. The police know him by name and, so they just escorted him off. So I forgive me for the cursing and the chaos, but I believe that it's happening so that we can send him some love and light, and just send him high vibes and call on all of our highest light guides and angels to surround him and help him through whatever it is he's going through. So let's see. Hey, Alata, how are you? My mom was like, maybe Spirit is telling you to take this time. I was like, Mom, Spirit is not telling me to take this much time off from work, okay? I'm getting on Wi-Fi. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Alata. Of course. I mean, and it's pretty warm out here, but you know what? It feels good. I'm so grateful. My son and I drive 7 hours and 45 minutes to my dad's because, we have the delay in our building. And so we're going to be here until the 6th. And I'm really excited that we're here visiting my dad. It's so beautiful here. And I'm just grateful. So it looks like you're the first person on. Looks like you are the first person on. This is so good. It's my first time getting it, but I'm using their Wi-Fi, so I bought something. So, Alata, since you're the first one on, I don't know. You know what? They're probably thinking that, yes, it was an officer behind me. You're probably thinking, or they were probably thinking, I wasn't getting on because I've been traveling and, I wasn't live last week, but I did go in all of the groups and on my personal page and I announced that we were live today. So just giving them an opportunity to see that. Hey, Nikki, was just asking that everyone send that gentleman behind me some love and light and call on his highest light guides and angels to surround him. I believe he has some mental things going on. So the police just came and escorted him off. So he was saying that he's going to get fired because they're taking him into custody. And so my heart goes out to him. Hi, my beautiful Aunt Linda. Hi. So I'm going to go ahead and pull your card, Alata, since you were the first person on. Let's see. Okay. So I was just asking which deck. I'm so grateful to be on with you guys. You have no idea. I'm telling you, I was all ready to go. I told my dad I was going to stream from his backyard because it feels like you're in the woods, the trees are beautiful and I'm getting all prepared to do it. And I was like, let me see if this Wi-Fi is going to work. I'm glad I checked because it sure wasn't working. I thought I'm all logged in. Both for Alata? Okay. I'm all logged into my mom's internet because my dad, first thing he said was, I don't have internet. I was like, it's okay. I'm logged into my mom's. I'll be fine. Okay. Are they meant to be upside down? Okay. I got no. So Alata, you got awakening and star seed. And what it says is energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. What lights you up? So you already know that you're on your path of awakening. You've been there for quite some time. But you know what's so funny? When I went live the other day, I did have a feeling, and I don't know if I mentioned you when I went live in REM, but I was feeling that it's time for you to really get out there and start doing what you're here to do. I know that you serve us in the REM community, your soul family, and I'm sure you serve those close to you, but it's really time for you to get into your serving. Your soul group is what I'm hearing. Your soul group that you came here to serve. It's really important for you to get to serving them. So however that looks like for you, it's time to start. Also asking yourself, what are some of your hangups? Why haven't you started yet? Why haven't you jumped right in? I'm feeling like getting your toes wet as opposed to just full-fledged jumping in. It's time. You also will be receiving some energetic and DNA upgrades. So just to keep allowing yourselves to be in flow. I'm also hearing connecting with the moon on a deeper level, asking spirit to guide you on some new things you can do during the full moon and the new moon outside of what you've learned already. And this will also help you get into that motion of serving. Also, I'm being told to tell you grow your soul's purpose to your soul income will be good for you too. Okay. And I asked, was there anything else? I heard no, that's it. So I am in Missouri now. Can you guys see me okay? Because I almost feel like the sun is behind me. So I feel like if I was over there, you'd be able to see me better. Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you. You too. I got a little sample, you guys. Oh my goodness. This is delicious. Oh my. I think that was what the guy, he told me this guava one he really likes. He had it in the back, but he said the blackberry was good. And I was like, I'll get the guava. Hey, Diamond. So yeah, anyways, you guys, I'm rambling, but can you see me okay? Okay, you know what? I'm going to turn around and I'm going to meet you on the other side and then we're going to get started. Hi. Okay. There we go. Is that better? Or is it the same? A little better? Okay. Now I'm like, why didn't I get a big one like this? Awesome. Awesome. Good. So let's go ahead and get started with our breathing, you guys. Let's go ahead and close our eyes, take those slow, deep breaths, inhaling through our nose, love and light, exhaling and releasing all that's not serving us through our mouth. If there's something specific that you're choosing to release, then go ahead and release that in place of just keeping it general. Now, I'm going to allow myself to get calm, too, with all that chaos and confusion that was going on and rushing over here when I realized Wi-Fi wasn't working. My energy's a bit up, and I like to bring it down. So let's just go ahead and do that together, okay? And as you're breathing, I'll be sending Reiki to your heart chakra and your solar plexus. So let's go ahead and get started. So go ahead and close your eyes. Inhale slow and deep through your nose, love and light. And exhale out through your mouth, releasing all that's no longer serving you. And as you continue to breathe, I'm calling on highest light guides, angels, ancestors, healers, teachers, wise ones, and ascended masters. I thank you for using me as a vessel of highest light and love. I thank you for delivering a message through me to those I'm called to serve today. I thank you for opening their hearts, their minds, and their souls so that they may receive whatever is meant for them and whatever serves their highest good. I thank you, and so it is. So just go ahead and continue to breathe love and light through your nose and releasing out through your mouth. And as you're breathing, allow your crown chakra located at the top of your head to open. Opening your crown chakra now. And just allowing that divine energy from your highest source of power to flow in through your crown, traveling down to your third eye and extending out to your ear chakras, traveling down to your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root. And just feel that energy flow down your thighs, your knees, and your calves. Feel it going through your ankles and your feet. And as it gets to the soles of your feet, just allow your roots to burst out through the bottom, penetrating Mother Earth, traveling down to her core, and allowing yourself to connect to the heartbeat of Mother Earth. Feel that energy come back up through your feet. Feel it go up to your root and your sacral, your solar plexus, your heart. Feel it go up to your throat, your third eye, and your ears, and up and out your crown. And just allow that energy to reconnect with the divine source of highest light and love. And just feel that warm, healing energy circulate through your entire body, loosening and releasing all that's no longer serving you. And with everything you release, replacing it with love and light, setting the intentions that this healing energy will flow through you throughout the rest of the day. And with every inhale, you'll continue to breathe in love and light. And with every exhale, you'll continue to release what's no longer serving you. Thank you, and so it is. Okay, so how is everyone feeling right now? So let's see. A lot that said the DNA upgrades. Of course I will. This raw cleanse is upgrading me from the inside out. And you know what? I forgot you were doing the raw cleanse. So that makes sense. That makes sense why that came through so good. Oh, I missed you too a lot. I'm just now seeing that. I missed you too. That's why I was like, come rain, sleet, snow, or extreme heat, I'm getting on live because Starbucks was only 8 minutes away. So I'm on live. It's like, no, ma'am, Pam. I've been missing too much. Too much. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started and see what is the message today for us collectively. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Good. I'm glad. I feel calmer too. Thank you, my beautiful aunt. It has been. It's been quite the adventure, you know. Okay. First, let me just make sure these cards don't fly away. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to stack them so I can control them better. So first, we arrived in Knoxville. You know, my mom was here the day before I got here. And then we picked up my car, which was a total manifestation. So I'm being led to tell you guys about all the things that have been manifested. So you all may have heard me say, I know my soul family and Ram has heard me say this, but one day I was just like, why am I so exhausted? Like, there's so many people moving and they're not talking about how exhausted they were. And Spirit was like, it's because you are ending a karmic cycle, like literally totally ending a karmic cycle and coming into the next cycle of my life, right? And then also the other thing that Spirit pointed out is that this entire move was totally manifested. Because those of you that have been following me, you know, in 2012, I had a 500-pound metal rack fall on my shoulder and I still haven't settled my claim. So I was, when I was deciding to move, when I made the choice, in my mind, I thought that I would be moving after I settled my claim. And so Spirit has been working with me to manifest the funds to do this. And so that takes energy as well. So this is why I've been so exhausted, right? So long story short, we get there. Now, first they tell me that my car would not be here until the 16th. And I'm like, oh no, I'm Master Manifestor. We'll be there on time because that's just more money to get a rental and drive to Atlanta and be there the whole time for the conference. So anyways, it was there on the 13th. So picked up the rental. Then we drove to Atlanta, was there for the Be Beautiful conference. We stayed an additional night and then we drove back to Knoxville. Stayed a night and then took my mom to the airport. And then my son and I drove 7 hours and 45 minutes here to Missouri. So I am in Lake St. Louis, Missouri. That's where my dad lives. Someone asked me before and I couldn't remember what part of Missouri he lived in, but it's Lake St. Louis. So anyways, like literally there's been so many things that Spirit has been blessing me with to show the power of manifesting when we go into that total trusting and surrendering and taking action with unwavering faith. Like even this little bracelet here, you know, when we were in Atlanta at the conference, I flung my arm and one of my bracelets flew off. And then, you know, one of the women at the conference was like, oh, it's so pretty. I was like, here, it's yours. You know, I can get another one out of my inventory. So I put some Reiki in it, gave it to her, right? And then literally the next day, I was blessed with this bracelet. My mom and I went to this place in Atlanta called Little 5 Points. Nikki, is that what it's called? Little 5 Points? And anyways, they were closed. And we were, I knocked on the window and I said, you know, we're here out of state. Can we come in while everyone is still looking around? And so they let us in. And then the woman was so nice when we were leaving. She said, here, this is for you. So that's also a testament to nothing is ever a loss. You know what I mean? Like literally the bracelet that I was wearing, it was a amethyst and white jade bracelet. And whenever we're wearing crystals, if they break or we lose them, it means that they've served their purpose, right? And whenever something is removed, it's always replaced with something that serves us in our now. So not only does this have amethyst on, but it's a full chakra bracelet, which is awesome for my entire system, right? And then we ended up getting a free night for our room. And they brought us like this cheesecake platter, and I'm vegan. My mom's vegan, so my son ate it. Then they brought us 3 free Impossible Burger meals. I mean, it was amazing. And with the delay, my pod, I'm being charged an additional month. So I called to let them know when I'd be moving and when to deliver it. I kid you not. Usually I would say, oh, is there anything you can do with the price? I didn't say that. And she's like, let me see what I can do for you on the price. Who does that? Like what company just volunteers to save you money? So she checks with her boss and they take 100 off. And I don't know how it was supposed to be $324, but it's, or $334, but it's going to be $134. Now, I don't know where that additional off came from, but I'm just going to say, thank you, Spirit, you know? So I like to really just tell you all, it's not even about manifesting things that you're consciously choosing when you get in that zone and that flow of connecting to your inner magician and connecting to your inner alchemist. It's like everything in your life just becomes one blessing, one miracle after the other. But what it requires is us to free ourselves from fear. You know what I mean? To free ourselves from fear, because oftentimes we're afraid to step outside of our comfort zone. We're afraid to ask for more. We're afraid to do more because we're used to our current situation. We know exactly what to expect. We know exactly what's going to happen or what's not going to happen. And to literally venture outside of fear, it's a huge step towards your abundance. So Spirit is saying, some of you have caged yourselves based on outdated beliefs. And as I'm saying this, it's coming through that some of these beliefs stem from childhood. You know what I mean? And then as an adult, you just kept solidifying them in your mind and your psyche. You kept solidifying them. So tell me something. What's one thing you're afraid of? It can be anything. It can have to do with your personal life, your business life, your children. It can be anything. What's one thing that you're afraid of? Usually when people ask me, what are you afraid of? I say nothing, right? Nothing. I'm not afraid of anything. And I realized when we were in that free room, you know what I'm afraid of? Heights. I am afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of being on an airplane, but like looking out on that balcony, I was like, oh, Lord. And so you guys know how I'm always talking about we push through the fear and we do it in spite of. So at the 2020 Activating You Retreat, one of the activities that we're doing is zip lining. And the reason why I chose that activity is because of my fear of heights. So I'm choosing to be first. I'm choosing to be first, and I'm doing it so that I can push through that fear. Now, let me tell you, the only fears that we're born with is the fear of falling and loud noises. Those are the only two fears that we're born with. Those are the fears that are naturally a part of us as human beings. The fear of falling and loud noises. Anything else is a learned fear. So now Spirit is saying, choose to release that learned fear and allow yourself to be fearless. Now, again, it doesn't mean that fears won't come up, but it means pushing through in spite of. So for the retreat, nobody come and knew that zip lining was an option. I could have just said, you know what? I'm not even going to tell them. We're going to do this, this, and this. You know, I'm not even going to set that up, right? But I'm choosing to overcome it. I'm choosing to overcome it. And here's the thing. Doing it, I may not overcome that fear, but I'm not allowing it to paralyze me and stop me from living my life. And the more I push through and do things associated with my fear, eventually I'll no longer have that fear. So let me see what you all are saying. Nikki said yes for little 5 point. Mom Linda said yes. Me too. Me too. It was so incredible to actually connect with you in person, Diamond. I love you. Nikki said, sorry, I was fixing my tea. Yes, little 5 point. Okay. Diamond said, I'll catch the replay this evening. I got my vibe back up, and this spinning wheel is challenging me. I'm manifesting a better phone service plan. Have a great day, all. You too. Hi, Rachel. Thank you so much for being on. Thank you. I appreciate you. My Linda said, any type of plan, mental, physical, or hurting someone else. Oh, any type of pain. And you know what? Here's the thing. Now, you're my aunt, so I know you and I know the pain that you're in. But just think about that. Whatever we give energy to is what we manifest. So you experience a lot of pain because that's been your fear. Your fear is any sort of pain. So you're actually thinking about it, even if it's not consciously, it's a thought of yours. You know, it's a let me not be in pain. Let me not cause pain, you know, even if it's in those terms. So if you start thinking, I am pain free. Those around me are pain free. And what's the opposite of pain? If you weren't in pain, what would you rather be, right? Start speaking life into that. And then that's what you'll begin manifesting. So funny because one of the speakers at the Be Beautiful conference actually passed out cards, I am cards, and mine said I am pain free, which was super fitting, you know, so it was beautiful. But start really putting that energy out there and just see how it shifts. Now, you know about my CC disease, you know about that, and you know how it hindered me as a baby and a toddler, and even part of my early, you know, my teen years and early adult life. But what I had started to do was just shift the narrative in my mind. And so now, even though on paper at the doctor's office, it looks like I'm half dead, I don't feel that at all. You know, so we really do have the power to shift even medical ailments just with the power of our minds. So Nikki said, my only fear is around my children, doing them wrong, losing them, etc. You guys notice I'm not even drinking the one that I bought. And so, Nikki, you know how that works. So you know to speak life into the opposite. You know what I mean? And you know you are a great mother. And just tell yourself that every day, I am a great mother. I am the mother that the divine chose to bless Leland and Allura with. You know what I mean? And just really speak that life into you as a mother and the job you're doing for your children. I mean, it doesn't get any better than coming into the light and raising them in the light, you know, because they could be like us, finding the light later in life and unlearning and reprogramming, you know, but they're blessed with the mom who found her light, who's now teaching them the light. Yay! Mom said, I can say that this is the third day, no medical edibles. Hey, awesome. That means you're feeling good. That's so awesome. Nikki said, yes, I just had to speak up because I know I'm not the only one. It takes time. Yes, definitely does. Definitely does. And you know, when you guys are doing any sort of reprogramming, you've heard me say this before, but at least 21 days consistently every day. That's at least. Now, healing and shifting, I've said this before, it's not a one hitter quitter. You continue to maintain, you release, you evolve, you maintain. That's what REM stands for. But whether you're in REM or not, that's just a cycle, the journey of your healing, right? So you maintain. So 21 days is to create that shift, but continuing is to keep the shift, you know, to maintain it. So let's see what the next card is. Now, this card came in upside down. We got material harvest. Is it upside down for everyone? Okay, I heard no, not for everyone, but for some it is. I'm hearing some of you are focusing too much on material harvest and not enough on your spiritual harvest. And some of you are doing just the opposite. It's really important to find a healthy balance. I'm also being told to tell you not to be ashamed of who you are, right? So if you're a light worker and super stuffy and you're not a free spirit, don't feel bad for being stuffy, because there's a group of light workers that are stuffy that are seeking a stuffy light worker. If you're a light worker that tends to like to party and have a good time, don't be ashamed, because there are a group of light workers that like to party and have a good time that haven't embraced their light yet. And that stuffy light worker is not going to be able to reach them. So what Spirit is telling me to tell you, part of activating and receiving your mental or material harvest is being who you are unapologetically, not being ashamed, not hiding, not feeling like there's anything wrong with being you. This is a totally different message from what was coming before, but Spirit is saying, get it out. It's so important that you're just you. Because the thing is, we've been taught that there's a right and a wrong way to be based on what our duties are here on this earth. And Spirit is constantly reminding us that that is not true. It's not true. And the more authentic you can be, the more comfortable you are being yourself, the greater your material harvest will be. Because people will connect to you on a soul level, much different to persona that you're presenting versus who you really are, because they're feeling your vibration. You know, those we're called to serve are light workers just like us. So as we're presenting, if what we're presenting isn't in alignment with our vibration, they're going to be so confused that they're just not going to make any moves. They're going to be looking at you like, what in the world is this? Who in the world is this? And they won't know what to do. But if you can give yourself permission to just be who you are, then you'll start to attract those you're called to serve. I just heard it's also time for you to start feeding the homeless. So I know, random, right? Spirit's got some random messages for us today. It doesn't mean you're being called to do it all the time. But even if you feel like what you have isn't that much, give something anyway. Give something anyway. It's the act of giving that also increases for you. You know, it increases for you. Now, of course, that's not why you give. You know what I mean? That's not why you give. Like, my tire pressure was low and there was, I'm like, Mom, you know how to do the tires? She's like, no, we'll find some guy at the gas station. And so he was doing it. And I went inside and went to the ATM and then, bought my son a slushie so I could get change. And it was taking a little while. So when I came out, I offered him $5 and he's like, you don't have to do that. And I was like, I know, but I appreciate your time. Your time is valuable and your willingness to do this. And he was like, and I said, don't block my blessings, here, take it, and so he took it. But it's things like that. This move cross country has costed me well over $20,000, right? And I will tell you, even with all the money I was spending, it still felt good to give. Why? Because I know anything that I put out will be returned to me multiplied. That's the intention that I have set. That's the agreement I've made with Spirit. And that's what I believe with unwavering faith, right? Now, whether or not I see that return necessarily financially, I will, because this is what I'm manifesting. But however, even if it wasn't coming in the form of material, right? Money, the energy of money, it's still going to come back in some other form of a blessing. But we've just got to stop holding on so tight. Stop putting so much power in things that really don't matter. The only thing that's real is energy. And you are in control of energy. The energy that you receive, the energy that you put out, you're in control of it. The energy that surrounds you, you're in control of it. This morning I was getting ready and you know what I was thinking? My relationships with my brother, my sisters, my dad, my mom, my grandmother, my cousins, on my dad's side. I don't really talk to my cousins on my mom's side as much, you know what I mean? But my relationships are so strong, right? They're so strong. And I was standing there like, when I shifted my energy, all of the relationships that weren't strong are now strong. And it was all because I shifted my energy. That's the kind of control we have. We just start with self. We shift self, and then everything around us shifts. Everything around us shifts. So if we can do that with relationships and with people who are in their own energetic space, then why can't you shift energy around money? A little piece of paper. You know what I mean? Why can't you shift the energy around the job that you're choosing or the business you're choosing to build, right? Or the relationship with your children? You can. You can. Just believe it. Just believe it. So let's see what you all are saying. My Aunt Linda said no. And Rachel said, I have been trying to become more comfortable with who I am, especially with my spirituality. I've wanted to go more public, but it's been a hard process for me. So cancel, delete trying, because anytime you use the word trying, your unconscious mind hears don't do it. So just say, I have been choosing to become more comfortable with who I am, especially with my spirituality. I'm choosing to go more public, but it's been a hard process for me. You know what? Cancel, delete the hard. Choose it to be easy and smooth. I'm choosing for it to be easy and smooth. Even though it may not have been easy in the past, I'm choosing for it to be easy now. And so it is. Because when you're speaking abundantly, you're manifesting abundance, you're creating abundance. Okay. And if you'd like to get that list, in the description box of all the videos, there's the free interactive ebook, Everything Starts with Remembering. You can download that. And there's the lack language versus abundance language list in there. And you know what? I'm just hearing you have a purpose here on this earth, Rachel, and you know it involves serving. You know it involves serving from a place of your spirituality. So it's good that you're choosing that. People may not understand you at first, but just as those people that don't understand you, some may fall off. But I'm feeling for you, it's more you're that example to them that's going to help them come into their own spirituality. But as those people are kind of looking at you like you're a three-headed monster, you'll be building relationships and connections with people that are on your path. And I'm also being told to offer to you the REM group mentorship. It's a 12-month mentorship. You can stay longer, of course. There's some people that have been in it for 2 years since it started, but it's $111 a month. So meditate and see if it resonates with you. And then if it does, let's get you enrolled, because not only will you be helped with unfolding on your spiritual path, but you'll also have a whole community of supporters. And we have monthly group sessions to help you with your journey. So check it out and let me know how you feel about that. Alata said, fear is a huge block for me. I was talking about this yesterday with my therapist. I fear I won't leave an abundance legacy for my children. My biggest fear is judgment and not being believed. So here's the thing. You got the message today from Spirit, right? That it's time to start. And literally, Alatha, I don't know if I've mentioned it in that live, but I kid you not. Whatever message I was delivering, I felt really strong that you in particular were meant to get on with it, right? So this fear that you have, it stems from past life stuff. And so you're being called to push through in spite of. And even if your legacy is, she pushed through in spite of, that's a beautiful legacy to leave, because so many people are paralyzed with fear that they cannot do that. Although it's going to be a greater legacy than just that. But even if it was just that, that's a powerful legacy to leave, right? And something that I've been choosing to work through. I'm so used to interacting with you guys online, right? I'm used to interacting with you online. So when I get in the environment of being with you in person and hanging out in person, whether it's at the retreat or like at this conference we just had, I sometimes wonder if that close interaction is causing a disconnect. I don't know how to put it in words. So I'm putting it in words the best way I can, right? And I'll tell you, this weekend, after spending time with Diamond, she said something that really touched my soul. And she said, I love you even more now. I love you even more now. Because when I serve, you guys become my family. Like, I don't just call you my soul family because it's cute. You become my family. And I love you in that way. And so I was asking Spirit, like, is it too much? Is it not professional? And Spirit was like, that's what makes you different. It's okay to be that way, because that's what's authentic to your soul and in your heart. And you're not like everyone else. It's not just business. Although there's clear business lines, but it's not just business. They are your family. So those are things that even for me, I tend to wonder, and then Spirit quickly checks me, right? So as you're talking about not being believed for whatever reason, that came up because there was like a doubt of whether or not I'm doing it the way I'm called to. And Spirit is saying, as long as you're in flow with what's in your heart, you're doing it how you've been called to. So if you're in flow with what's in your heart, with what's in your soul, and what spirit is giving you, you will be believed by those that are called to be served by you. Okay. So Nikki said, I've got to go. Wonderful seeing you this morning. See you soon. Thank you, beautiful. See you soon. A lot that said, I choose to continue working through this and not hiding from my fears or my flaws. Awesome. I love you too. I love you too, my beautiful aunt. You have a blessed day too. Hi, thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us from Japan. So look, let me show you guys what our next card is. We got love begins. Love begins. So what I'm being told to tell you is as you release that fear, love begins. When you can release that fear and move in spite of, this is when you truly begin loving yourself. Why? Because you're not blocking yourself from receiving all that you truly desire and deserve. You're not creating any blocks. Any block that's in your life or any block that's on your path, it's because you created it, right? It's because you're refusing to remove it. But when you do what you're called to do in spite of that fear or in spite of any human hangups, this is when you begin loving yourself. And we've talked about how love is the highest vibration there is. And when you're vibrating in that frequency of love for self, you can vibrate in that frequency for others. And this too is a part of creating that material harvest, right? Creating that abundance in all areas of your life. It begins with love. So the biggest act of love that you can give to yourself is moving in spite of your human hangups, right? Moving in spite of your human hangups. So if you are someone who tends to procrastinate and you're not staying committed, or you judge yourself or you beat yourself up, if you can stop doing those things in spite of how you may feel on the inside, not only will love begin, but eventually that won't be a habit of yours anymore. It'll be replaced with something that does serve you, right? This is actually Wednesday Live and Power Hour. We do this every Wednesday, unless, I've been traveling, unless I'm unable to. But typically every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, we go live and I pull cards and give you the message received from Spirit. And you guys are able to ask questions. And then at the end, I offer mini readings for $20 each. So yeah, I can read it when you put it in English. Yes. Yes. Okay, so we also got accelerated motion. Now, Spirit is telling us a story today, right? Because as you allow that love to begin and as you move in spite of, this is when your motion becomes accelerated. This is where you grow your wings. And then when your wings are tired of flapping, this is where Spirit carries you to the next level. So what Spirit is saying is the main message here today is to step outside of fear. What is the worst thing that can happen if you were to step outside of your fear? What's something that you're being called to do that fear has caused you to either not do or has caused you to procrastinate, to be a procrastinator? What's the one thing? And share, let me know, share. Well, welcome, Kenji. Thank you for joining us. That was good. So what's the one thing? Go ahead and let me know in the comments. And as you guys are letting me know, look what we got. Answer the call. Answer the call. Welcome, Ms. Sean. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad you love it. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your community too so they can join us next week. So it says, what is your soul calling you to do? So listen, did you guys hear the question I just asked you? What's the one thing that fear is preventing you from doing? Usually that's where you'll find your calling, is within your fear, wrapped in fear. And if you can take that wrapping paper of fear off, that's when you get to the prize, which is the blessing. And that blessing involves you serving others. And as you're serving others, you begin serving yourself on a deeper level too. So what's the one thing that fear has you stuck and procrastinating? We also got deep replenishment. And it says, retreat, rest, be held. This is a message that's for me too. Because with all this traveling, let me tell you, exhaustion has become a part of me, right? And so I have made the decision that I'm going to take time out to rest and replenish so that I can serve you at the greatest capacity possible. But you're also being called to rest, to replenish so that you can do some self-discovery. Some self-discovery. You guys remember that game Operation? When I was a kid, we had that game Operation, and you pick up like the little bones with the little tweezer like things and you put it in places, and the goal was to not touch the edges of where you were putting it. Well, you know, of course you're not cutting anything open, but what I'm being told to tell you is to begin dissecting yourself. Begin to dissecting yourself, performing spiritual surgery on yourself. You know, step outside of self and really look at yourself. Look at the things you're afraid of. Look at the things that inspire you, the things that ignite you. And then really look at it from a logical standpoint so you can see where some of your fears literally are things that you've created based on things that aren't present in your now. Because sometimes if you can look at it from a logical standpoint, it can help you to move through it until you're ready to heal it. And then of course, when you heal it, you're going. It's not even a block. It's not a hurdle that you're jumping over. It's just not there anymore. Right? So take that resting period that Spirit's speaking of and really dissect your life spiritually and dissect yourself. Okay? I'm hearing there's some healing there and there's some growth there. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. Welcome. So yes. So what's one thing, you guys, that fear is actually preventing you from doing? Who feels up to sharing? A lot of that finishing my book. Yes, I posted. Are you a part of the United Light Beings Awakening group? As I posted it in the group, on my page, my personal page, and my business page. I totally forgot today was Wednesday. My son and I went to get kitty litter this morning and totally forgot it was Wednesday. I went online to find a barbershop for him. And when I scheduled the appointment for Thursday, I was thinking it was Tuesday. Traveling will do that to you. The days kind of just bleed into each other. And I was like, it's Wednesday. Let me hurry up and get home and get showered and get ready for live. And then the internet wasn't working. My dad doesn't have internet, but the Wi-Fi was logged onto my mom's. It wasn't working. So I came to Starbucks. So, okay. So Alatha, do you actually take any time every day for your book, or at least 5 days a week? Do you take any time writing it, or have you kind of just shelved it and you've just been like, you know what, I'm just not doing it right now? Because what I'm being led to tell you is at least 5 days a week, take some time and write. Take some time and write. Just at least 5 days a week. It doesn't have to be, back to back to back 5 days, but at least 5 days a week. Take time to write. It's good to have you on. Thank you. It feels good being on too. It's hot here in Missouri, but it feels good being outside. And we've even got soundtrack playing for us, right? So Rachel said, I'm going to cancel trying. Making a living from reading people has been something I'm choosing to do, but also my biggest fear. I often feel my gifts aren't there, although I know they are. I feel I rely on the book, meaning of the card, than my own intuition. Okay, so I'm going to say again, the RIM group mentorship would be amazing for you. Amazing for you. So literally meditate on it today and then get back to me today, because it truly will help you with all of those things. It really will. It really will. And if you feel led in the United Light Beings Awakening group to post that question, like how has the REM group mentorship help with you developing your psychic gifts, or how has it helped you on your spiritual journey? I'm sure there'll be members that will answer that question for you so you can get some of their feedback, because that's what it helps with. The things that you pointed out today, it helps you with that and so much more. So much more. Hi, Mom. My mom just said, you look tired, darling daughter. Yeah, I thought I was covering it well with my peppiness. So yeah. A lot that your kids have that game. I didn't even know they still made that game. So yeah. But every day, and you know what? When I first started doing readings, at first I used to do it like this. I would take a salt bath, right? Because before, when I first started doing them, I didn't hear spirit. I would see pictures, right? And so I would take a salt bath and meditate before reading, and I would write down the things that I saw. And then when I got on the reading, then I would share with the person and then go from there, right? And then I remember Javi, who is actually one of the readers on the AshworthScott Life Sculpting team. He's absolutely amazing, by the way. Everyone is, you know. But Javi, we actually met in a group on Facebook. He scheduled a reading, and I was reading from the book. And then he's like, I'd like to know what you feel. And I was like, so scared. But you know what? I pushed through in spite of that fear. Push through in spite of that fear. Here's the thing. We're all born psychic. Okay, listen. Everyone who follows me knows that when things like that happen, it's not a coincidence. So as soon as I heard those sirens, I was asking Spirit, what was that about? And Rachel Spirit is saying, it's a 911 emergency that you get started in your gifts, because people are waiting for you so that they can embrace their own. It's like a domino effect. As light workers, we are the beginning domino. And when we bend over into our calling, it just trickles down to everyone we're called to serve. So even if you're still feeling that fear, push through in spite of, right? So because we're all born psychic, the only thing that's blocking us from being fully in our gifts is that fear. But when Javi challenged me in that way, and I didn't say, oh no, I can't, you know, the book is my friend and I just can't. I did it anyway. And by me doing that, I opened up another chamber of my gifts. And I was invited to do this event once a week. And it was similar, you know, we would come in and the guests would put something in an envelope and they write their question on the outside. And most people would, you know, open it and feel, and I would just hold the envelope, you know. But when I first was doing that, I was so afraid. I was like, you know what? I believe I'm just going to watch this time. I'm just going to observe. But the person who put it on, she and I prayed together. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And then literally, as I sat there holding the envelope, I just started writing what Spirit gave me. And oftentimes in REM, you know, there'll be people that haven't necessarily done readings or haven't really fully connected to their psychic gifts. And Spirit will say, suggest that they go live, you know, tell them it's time. Just go live, pick names in the group and just start reading. And then that opens them up, because now they've chosen to activate, right? They push through that fear and they've activated. And sometimes they're pleasantly surprised. Well, not sometimes, always, when they feel like they can't or there's something blocking them. They're surprised at how accurate they are. And once that happens, it's just on from there. So you're definitely a gifted psychic. I'm hearing clairvoyance is your strong gift, but you do possess others, and it's just time for you to do it. You're so welcome. A lot that said the issue, a lot said I used to. I have written a lot. There's a few things that come up, and it shut me down. That's where the fear of judgment and belief come from. So today the message is pushed through in spite of. You know, once you do that, it's going to be therapeutic for you. And of course, you know, it's going to serve. You know, it's going to be therapeutic for someone else. Yes. Thank you for inviting Miss Sean Alata. Thank you so much. So these are the cards that came through today. Spirit is telling me to also tell you all about this move cross country, right? The old me probably would have been afraid to make this move, you know, by myself, making this move, my 15-year-old and I. But 21 years ago, when I was 21, I made the move from the Bay Area to Washington State. But when I did it that time, I was moving with a husband who was in the military. And the reason I wasn't afraid this time is because I know that everything that happens in my life serves my highest good. And I know with unwavering faith that spirit has my back and that spirit will not let me down. So there was no fear. It was just the next chapter. And I was so excited. I still am excited just for everything that's coming and everything that's unfolding. And saying this to you, what spirit is telling me, part of why I was being blessed so abundantly this past week is because I made that step in unwavering faith. And so whenever we're stepping in that unwavering faith, spirit rewards us, right? So the biggest message spirit is having me tell you is to do it in spite of and have unwavering faith and knowing that fear is just false evidence appearing real, right? That fear doesn't exist. You can manifest the things that you're fearing by giving it energy, but it doesn't exist on its own. It doesn't have power without you. So why feed fear? You can starve it. And like anything else you starve, it'll die. It'll die. It's totally up to you. Totally up to you. I mean, this is a huge move. I've literally picked up and just gone, picked up and gone. Even my plays, that was selected online, it's not even finished being built yet. I didn't see anything, not even, all I saw was a floor plan. And spirit said, this is the place for you. There were times where I was like, oh, but that one is less money and it's bigger, and that's the place for you. And that's when that message came through, when spirit said, you must accept it to manifest it. Because I was still kind of like, well, spirit, what about this? Well, what about that? So if I was in that chaos of not being sure, not accepting it, then I wasn't going to manifest it. And I told you earlier today, this whole move has been me manifesting it, So step out of fear or move through it in spite of. And those things that you're afraid of, know that those are the things that are going to produce the biggest blessings. Because what you're saying to spirit is, I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. I'm ready. I'm ready to serve, and I'm ready for more. I'm ready to serve, and I'm ready for more. So if you're ready to serve and you're ready for more, and remember that serving includes serving self. It's not just about serving those you're called to serve outside of self. That includes serving self. One of the biggest ways to serve myself is by serving you. Seriously, by serving you. You hold me accountable. You help make this such a natural part of my life. So I'm blessed by simply serving you, So can you guys commit to whatever you've been fearing, literally for the next 21 days, pushing through in spite of? Start there. Don't end there. Don't end at day 21 like, okay, I'm going back. I know once you do 21 days, you're not going back. But can you commit to that? You will see a difference. You will see a difference. You will be blessed in so many ways just by pushing through that fear. I guarantee it. But when you push through the fear, now it's not enough to push through, right? It's not enough to push through and I'm doing this, but I'm doing it, but I'm still doubting it, right? We got to accept it to manifest it. We don't have to, but it serves our highest good. So when you do it, have that unwavering faith that spirit will show up and show out. And I've told you guys every day, I say, everything that happens in my life serves my highest good. And as I'm saying that, let me to tell you all about another situation of manifesting. So the night that my son and I left, it was 11:59 p.m., basically almost midnight. And we weren't sitting next to each other. And my son was like, we're not sitting next to each other. He wasn't too happy about that. And then literally we were rushing to get to the departure because we had our cat. And Ganesh, because we had Ganesh, they're like going through the scanner with something. I mean, they must have done it like 50 times. And I'm just like, we are catching a plane that leaves and then I'm just like, everything that happens serves my highest good. So after we get checked through, as we're walking, The whole time in my head, everything that happens in my life serves my highest good. Everything that happens in my life serves my highest good. So when we get there, we got there on time. They left early because they had to take some shuttle, I believe is what she said. And you know what happened? She got us set up on a flight that left about 40 minutes after ours. We were now sitting next to each other, and it was a shorter flight time in air. Connecting flights all in alignment. And I told my son, I said, see, when you trust and know that everything that happens in your life serves your highest good, there may be times where it feels like I'm running late, or, oh, shoot, I missed my plane, right? And then we go into that, shoot, oh, my goodness, oh, no, that stumped my toe reaction, right? But when we stay in that place of everything that happens serves my highest good, then what seemed to be a mishap actually turns into a blessing. So those are a few things the Spirit is saying, take with you this week. Over the next 21 days, implement them, and then come back and share the things that are shifting. If you're not in the United Light Beings Awakening group on Facebook, please join. The link is in the description box, and share in the group what has been happening since you've been doing this over the course of your 21 days, okay? Let's see what you all are saying. Hi, Only Diamonds. Let's see. Alatha said, I used to have written a lot. There's a few. Okay, we read that. Cheryl said, I'm going to have to watch the live stream from the beginning. Yes, please do. Alatha said, not a coincidence at all. Only Diamond said, oh, wow. So Cheryl said, there's always needed messages in the live streams. Well, they're not needed. They just serve your highest good. But I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that Spirit comes through. And that right there is another example of how Spirit comes through. Whatever your soul is craving, if you get out of your own way and you stop creating blocks for yourself, Spirit is always right on time. Spirit is right on time, giving you exactly what your soul is craving, exactly what serves your highest good. It's just when we're overthinking it, we're overdoing it, we're just in our head, and we're not listening to our soul. That's when those blocks are created. So you guys see, I got a tan. Alatha, Cheryl says, sure does. Alatha says, so true, Cheryl. That's actually good too. So if you guys, let me see, if anyone is interested, I'm going to log into YouTube to get the link. I'm going to now offer the mini readings. So if anyone is interested, let me know and I'll get the link to you. And you'll be able to, let's see. You will be able to utilize the link on PayPal and then put your 20 in and put your question in the comments after you do. So let me just get it copied for you. Okay. Okay. So is anyone down to commit to that challenge? That 21 days? Are you guys up for that? I kid you not, you guys. Seriously, I will say that it doesn't really even take long to get in the groove. It's just about being consistent. You know what I mean? Like, having that unwavering faith is so powerful. It really is powerful. And, we hashtag Master Manifester, and, we talk about miracles and magic and all of the things that we're able to create. But when you really understand and know, like, look at how far you've come. Look at how far you've come. Look at how often Spirit has shown up for you, right? Spirit will never let you down. As long as you don't create a block, you're not going to be let down. It's all up to you. And just be consistent with it. And that in spite of is the key. It's the key. And then next thing you know, you are in such a flow. And every time you turn, you're receiving a blessing. Every time you turn. When that woman was like, let me see what I can do on the price. I didn't even ask. Usually, listen, I am the frugal queen. Just call me McFrugal, okay? Miss McFrugal, sometimes cheap queen, okay? And I'm usually the one like, so is there anything you can do? Can you take anything off? Can you give a discount? And then I'm that person, are you able to take a little more off? You know what I mean? Because listen, it does not hurt to ask. It does not hurt to ask. They can either say yes or no. But I didn't even have to ask. She just offered. And that's how it starts to happen when you're in that flow of unwavering faith. It just falls from the sky. You know, you do your part, spirit does spirit's part. So, hey, Javi. Let's all send Javi a big old virtual hug and lots of love and light. And Javi, you are not sorry. You are amazing. I'm grateful that you're here and that you're joining us. I was telling them about you and how you challenged me to put the book down and how amazing of a psychic you are. But yes, let's give Javi some love and light and just surround him in some extra warm energy. So, Javi, if you get an opportunity, catch the replay. I was just told to suggest that to you. Aw, you know we love you. So, yeah. I just heard this year is going to be amazing and next year is going to be even better. This year is going to finish amazing and next year is going to be even better. So, I'm just being told to tell you all, see, the thing is you're taking action, right? There's so many people that say, I'd like my life to be different. There's so many people that complain, right? And when you complain, the only thing you're doing is solidifying your current situation. You know, everything is about perspective. How are you looking at it? How are you looking at it? I can find the positivity in everything, okay? Everything, I can find the positivity in it. And it's become second nature, you know, because why? I truly believe that everything that happens in my life serves my highest good. So that includes everything, you know, everything. When we were growing, and we've had this talk before, when we were growing up as kids, some of us, you know, they talk about growing pains because sometimes you actually physically feel pain as your limbs and your joints are growing, you know, and stretching and expanding, right? So when you're growing, there's gonna be pain. There's going to be pain, but it's not designed for you to waddle in it. It's designed for you to push through it and looking at what the results are going to be as a result of you being strong, right? So just stay positive, stay in that light of positivity. Why? Because you're deserving of everything great, everything abundant, everything expansive, right? And when you know that you're deserving of that, when you know that you're worthy of that, then it's easy to know that everything that happens in your life serves your highest good, even if it feels painful for a moment. Even if it feels painful, after that pain, whatever that pain is that you endured, if you allow it, the blessing that you receive, man, it's going to be a million times greater than that level of pain you receive. Seriously, I'm not just speaking because Spirit is telling me to say this. I'm also speaking because I know firsthand. I'm living proof that this is hashtag big facts, okay? I am living proof. Let's see. A lot to say the 20-day raw cleanse now, and I thought it'd be hard, but it's not. Miss Sean said, I'm down for the challenge. Awesome. And you know what? Here's the thing. Do you guys, some of you may remember, when we had the 2018 Activating Your Retreat, Spirit used our sister Ruby to tell me to do a cleanse, right? Now that was confirmation because I had been thinking, oh, maybe I'll do a cleanse, you know, and Ruby said, Spirit said, you'll know how long. I was told 7 days. I'm that person that if I say I'm going to fast, I don't even make it. Okay, sometimes I might make it to breakfast, but I definitely don't make it to lunch. Okay, at lunch, I'm eating. So anyways, when I got it from Spirit, though, I actually lasted 7 days, like no food. I was doing water, and I was doing my water where I put the lemon, the cayenne pepper. I was thinking Kanye and cayenne, the cayenne pepper, the apple cider vinegar, the ginger, and the turmeric, right? That and then smoothies. That was all I had for 7 days. And it was so easy. It was so easy. And I'm going to tell you why, because the thing that I say to myself is, well, I have a lot of things that I say to myself regularly, because what I'm doing is I'm reprogramming myself. I'm rewiring my unconscious mind, and my unconscious, your unconscious, that's the thing that leads us, that guides us, that controls us, right? So I have a lot of things that I say. Now let's go back to what Spirit said. Dissecting ourselves, right? In order for us to heal ourselves, we must know what we're being called to heal. So I pay attention to my thinking and my beliefs and my self-talk, right? So my thing is, I'm committed to taking action based on the guidance I received from Spirit and allowing it to be stronger than any of my human hangups. So although I'm greedy guts, food is my best friend. If Spirit said do it, there is nothing that's getting in between me and whatever Spirit says do. So then it becomes easy. And a lot that I feel like for you, that's the case. It's like, you know that this is Spirit led. You know that this is what your soul is calling for, and you're doing it, and it's easy. So if we can just keep that in mind with everything we do, we'll be golden. We'll be golden. Choose to allow your commitment to following the guidance you receive from Spirit to be greater than any human hang-up that you may have. If you make that choice, everything else is easy. Because it doesn't matter what it is. If Spirit says go left and right is easier, you know that if you turn right, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Chainsaw Man is waiting over there possibly. But you know, if you turn left and Spirit said it might be harder getting there, but when you do, you're in the land of milk and honey. You know what I mean? So let's see. A lot of this that I remember that fast. Didn't you go longer? I don't know if I went longer or not. I know I felt like I could, and I attempted to duplicate it. To this day, I have not been able to. So, a lot said hugs, love, and strength to you, Javi. Javi said hugs back. Thank you, Alata. Cheryl said, I just recently did a 3-day fast, and I did way better than I thought I would. How did you feel after doing the fast? How did you feel? We have some other people that joined us. Welcome. We're actually in our top part of this. I pulled the cards already, but if you're interested in catching the replay, you can start it from the beginning and watch it. And I'm also offering $20 mini readings, so I'll share the link there. So if you're interested, go ahead and click the link and put the 20 in, and then put your question in the comments after you do, okay? And if this resonates on any level, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share it with your community. I really appreciate it. So let's see. Cheryl said, I lost 8 pounds too. So you know what I'd like to challenge you to do is cancel, delete, lost, and shift that to released. And I'm going to tell you why. Because in our unconscious mind, if we think in terms of loss or losing something, our unconscious mind associates any type of loss with something negative, right? So all my life, once weight became a thing for me, you know, back in the day, I was size 6 with a 23-inch waist and thought I was fat. I'm surprised I wasn't wearing a nice little white coat that made me hug myself, because that was absolutely crazy. But when I was losing weight, I always found it back. Always, you know. But when I released it, I've been able to keep it off, despite the little fluff I put on after this last surgery from not working out in over a year. But guess what? I found a trainer. We went to this restaurant, Vegan Sanctuary in Knoxville, and the gentleman working there told me about the trainer that him and another lady used, and he said he released 30 pounds. And, you know, so I'm like, yes. So I'm going to be working with her when I get all settled. My mom said, JJ Smith, 21-day green smoothie. My mom does that. She does that. That's how I felt too. Cheryl said I felt fine. I believe I could have gone longer. That's how I felt too, but I don't believe I did. I think when I got to day 7, I believe I did go ahead and eat. But yeah. How has your clarity been? Have you noticed more clarity? Because I know for me, the reason why Spirit had me do it before the retreat was so that I could be in that deeper state of clarity. And I almost felt like a constant state, meditative state, if that makes sense. You know, it just helped me to serve better. I just felt totally light internally. You know what I mean? So, okay, I'm being told to pull one more card for us collectively. I miss my mom already. I can't wait until she and my bonus dad move. Heart chakra. So what I'm being told to say collectively is we're being called to heal our hearts because some of the fear stems from heart chakra blockages. And as I'm saying that, Spirit is saying, you know, where there was letdown or disappointment or neglect, you know, your heart chakra became blocked. And then you began creating these unnecessary fears, right? So remember, the only fears you're born with are the fear of falling and loud noises. That's it. That's it. Anything else, you create it. So if you can create it, you can undo it. And through NLP, you can also release that fear of loud noises and falling too. You know what's so funny? A lot that you actually just shared the heart chakra balance, or the full chakra balance audio guided meditation that I recorded. Did Spirit tell you to do that, or did you just listen again and just felt like this would be good to share? Because I instantly felt from Spirit that this is no coincidence that you shared it and that this came up today. She said, I definitely felt lighter physically, but I also realized that I could do whatever I put my mind to. Yes. And it's so relevant to what we're talking about today. So relevant. Nothing is a coincidence. You know, it's like, just like these cards when we pull during Empower Hour, they connect and they tell a story and they flow. It's the same way with life. You know, it's like we're in this sequence that leads us up to where we're choosing to go, or leads us up to the place that serves our highest good, right? But then sometimes we fight it, and then that's when it's like, you know, if you were to put things in order and then you shuffle or you throw it in the air and now everything's all over the place, and now you're taking time to pick up the pieces, reorganize. It's the same with life. Like, it's all leading us someplace, but then when we fight it, now we've just took everything out of order, and now we're playing catch up to figure the order out again. So, hi, Sona. How are you? We are actually at the end. Now I'm just talking to everyone and also doing the $20 mini read. So if you're interested in that, the link is in the comments. After you put your payment in, you can put the question in the comments. But I'm so glad you're here. If you feel led to watch it from the beginning, please do. Please do. I'm in Missouri now. I'm not in Atlanta anymore. A lot to say. So true. It's easier when you listen to Spirit, right? It totally is. It totally is. It's like, why would I do that to myself? Why would I go about life alone when I have a whole band of spirit guides, a whole spirit council, you know, that's willing to guide me into what I chose before I got here if I just allow it, you know? Those of us that have children or that have been around people with children, it's kind of like those children, you know, teenagers, how teenagers sometimes think they know everything, and you're looking at them like, I'm 42, or at least I'm 42 years old. You're 15. I have a lot more experience and information on this topic, right? That's how our spirit team is looking at us. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel like you can learn from everyone. You know, I do learn a lot from both my 22-year-old and my 15-year-old. But in those things where it's a matter of wisdom from time and, you know, you've done this experience, you know, and that's how our guides are looking at us like, why are you doing this by yourself? You've got spiritual amnesia. You know, let us guide you into remembering. Why are you doing this to yourself, going at it alone? You know, they're looking at us like, that makes no sense. But okay, we'll be here when you're ready. When you're ready to stop struggling and bumping your head, we'll be there. So I am in Lake St. Louis, Missouri. Oh, thanks, Mom. Alatha said 8 pounds in 3 days. Wow, I know, right? That's amazing. That's amazing. That is amazing. You know what? It's really, let me see, 3. It's really good that our REM group session was scheduled for 3:33 Pacific time, because you guys, I'm going to be here at Starbucks doing it. So yeah. I was told by Spirit to schedule it at that time. I had no idea why, but now I do. Because if it had been any later, it'd be dark. It'd be dark when we were doing it. Oh, what's your home state? No worries, Sana. No worries. What's your home state, Javi? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, not far at all. Not far at all. I will tell you, out of the drive here from Tennessee, I didn't like Kentucky weather. I mean, it was lightning. Now, I do like lightning. I'm always like, did you see that? I'm just like a big old kid. But anyways, it was so windy. And I'm like, Children of the Corn, you know. Was that where Children of the Corn was filmed? Does anybody know? That was the movie that scared me when I was a kid. That was the only movie that scared me. But the original Children of the Corn, I don't even know if I was I 6? I might have been 5. I don't know. But it was so windy. Like the car was moving, leaves all over the place. It literally looked like there was going to be a tornado. I was like, yes, Spirit, we're protected. That's what I kept saying. We're protected and safe. We're protected and safe. And I just kept it moving. But yeah. Now I like the thunder. I like the lightning. I even like the rain when I'm inside. You know, it was raining too, you know, but I just didn't like that wind driving, you know, and having my car moved. And I wasn't feeling that, you know, I wasn't feeling it at all. Out of the whole drive, that was like my least favorite. Oh, welcome back, Michelle. Now, am I saying it right, Michelle? My oldest son is in Texas. My oldest son is in Texas. But you know what, you guys, Atlanta, Tennessee, even here in Missouri today, it wasn't as bad as I expected with the heat and humidity. It wasn't as bad as I expected. I was expecting to be, you know, like half dead coming in there. And my mom looked at me like, but did you die though? That's what I was expecting. It wasn't bad. It actually feels good. And I believe too, it's because I'm ready, you know, energetically, it just feels really amazing. It really feels amazing. When my first husband and I, when we were still married, when he was getting out of the military, I told him to put in applications for government jobs in Atlanta because he's from Georgia. And so I was telling my mom, I was like, you know, I really felt like moving in this area way back then, you know, way back then I felt led to be in this area. But even that, you know, I didn't get clarity on fully where until a year ago. So I'm grateful. I'm really grateful. Energetically, it's just amazing. I love Tennessee. So a lot that says Spirit led me. I started back using it and I wanted others to remember it was available for them as well. I shared it in the group and on my page. Well, thank you. I'm glad that Spirit guided you to do that because yeah, you know, there was a guided meditation that I used to listen to when I first started my journey. That was a chakra balance, which is why I was encouraged to create one because it was so helpful, you know, because if our chakras are balanced, it just makes everything so much easier. It's less of a fight. You know what I mean? With those blocks, we fighting through it. And who's going to choose to fight if you could have smooth sailing, you know? So thank you for sharing it. Yeah, there's a whole playlist, you guys, on my channel with guided meditations. So check it out. There's the inner child healing. There's a few. And I'll be adding more. You know, when I get settled, I'll be doing a lot more on the channel, in the groups, a lot more. You know, the United Light Beings Awakening group is going to pretty much still be the same interaction. But, you know, RIM, you guys know when I'm not traveling, how active we are together. And that'll increase even more than before the traveling when I actually get settled. So I'm looking forward to it. And definitely the channel, Spirit's been guiding me to do more there too. So do you guys have any questions? Is anyone interested in a mini reading? If you are and you're just in the process, let me know so that I don't log out. But if not, does anyone have anything you'd like to share or anything you'd like to say? I've been missing you guys. I'm enjoying being on live with you. That's weird, but I'm going to do it. Spirit just said, pull a card for myself and tell you what it is. Okay. Oh, the little cup that they gave me is blowing away. So I'm going to put the ones that we received back in. Oh, you're so welcome, Cheryl. Is that mine? Okay. That one? Okay. I keep here. Nope. Keep going. Okay. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Okay. Okay. So what I'm hearing from Spirit is, how are you going to stop yourself from being exhausted? And you know what I'm picturing in my head? When we were in Atlanta, my mom and I, and you guys remember that dance where she's standing there, she's doing this. I can't even remember the movie now, but I knew the movie. And then sometimes I'll do that and I'll sing, she's a man eater, man. You know, I'm silly, you guys. I told you this, okay? And so, anyways, that actually helped me not be tired. Is there anything else though? Like, are you literally telling me to dance? Okay. So what I'm receiving from Spirit is, it's also about me eating healthier. It's also about me going to bed early and to not have my phone with me. So here's the thing. Thank you, Spirit. And now I understand why I'm being told to do that in front of you guys. And I'll tell you why after. But here's the thing. Since I've been traveling, I haven't been eating healthy. You know, when we were in Atlanta, we went to a restaurant, a vegan, of course, but soul food. And vegan soul food is fattening too, you know, not healthy. Fried anything is not healthy, you know. So yeah. And then also when we were driving here, my son and I, we stopped to get fries, you know. The other day had an Impossible burger, you know. So I've really been off my game. And then now I've been sleeping with my phone wherever I'm sleeping. Whereas when I was home, I had stopped sleeping with my phone in my room for a while, right? And then when I got in, my dad, he told me that he had cooked a vegan meal for me. It was so awesome. I was so grateful because I was hungry. But what Spirit is telling me is, even in this transition period, to take better care of myself, right? And not allow the transition to take me out of my routine. So as I was sharing this with you, what Spirit was saying is, oftentimes you'll hear me say how I have like coaching sessions with me and Spirit. And so what Spirit is saying is that when you get to that place where you have released fear, when you've released doubt, you know, when you've conquered those things, then you are literally in this place where you and Spirit are doing just that. You know what I mean? Like, Spirit will say, hey, pull your coattail. Hey, you know, I share with you guys about a year ago, I believe, I was sitting on the couch and I had a half a bagel with cream cheese, all vegan, of course, but still, like I said, just because it's vegan doesn't mean it's healthy. And I had those organic kettle chips, salt and vinegar, and I'm sitting there eating. I'm just snacking. I'm not hungry. I'm just snacking because, you know, food is a hobby, right? And Spirit was like, Nahkila, what are you doing? This is how you got so big in the first place. If you guys could have seen how quick mid-chip, and if it wasn't for the fact that I had chewed up the chips that were in my mouth, that would have went back in the bag too. I'm like, okay, Spirit, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah. You're so welcome, Javi. Love you. And let's see. Awesome. What is your question? Welcome, Rory Sung. Did I say it right? Rory Sung. I can't remember if you told me to pronounce it Sung or Sang. Rory Sang. Awesome. Okay, well, here is the link to PayPal. The mini readings are $20. And when you put your 20 in on PayPal, put your question in the comments and I'll answer it. Now, if you're interested in a personal reading, I do have the 3-question mini reading that's recorded. And the links are in the description box. And if you like the virtual face-to-face, I have a 30-minute and an hour. So those are all in there. You're so welcome. Thank you. So, Sona, what's your question? Let me know what your question is, and then I'll go ahead and get yours done. Who's Alicia Butterfield? Did I miss someone, or Sona, is that your Your legal name. Okay. Well, the first thing Spirit said was, how would you like it to turn out? That was the first thing Spirit said. And, you know, I mean, that being the answer, I kind of feel like, but of course she knows that. But literally, Spirit is saying, how would you like it to turn out? What I'm being told to tell you, it's about changing your attitude towards life right now. You're in a major test period of your life. And it's like one thing after another is being thrown your way. And the reason why this is happening is because you have such a huge calling over your life. I'm hearing somewhere along the line you got lost. I'm hearing it's like a mishap in a chain of unfortunate events occurred. And it's like one thing led to another and another and another. But the way that shift, I'm hearing in your consciousness and in your awareness happen, is because when one thing that you perceived as bad happened, it turned your whole mood upside down, your whole outlook upside down. And then after that, you began creating more experiences that were in alignment with that vibration. Your book launch can be great, or it can be in alignment with this new energy that's been surrounding you and following you. It's totally up to you. I just heard it's time for you to make it happen. I'm hearing you're being called to heal from pain that's been plaguing you for about 2 years. It's also time for you to make new friends. It's also time for you to stop beating yourself up with woulda, coulda, shouldas and allow yourself to live in the moment. This is not something new to you. These are things that you know, but it's like you're stuck in this vibrational state of being. Let her help you get unstuck. You will be in flow with abundance. Because you know the what, the how, and the when. But it's about releasing enough to do it the way you're called to do it. You'll be surprised at how much you learn. Things that you didn't even know were missing. And I'm hearing, and also how deep your hand will be in the cookie jar. I just heard that's just a metaphor we're using for abundance. I'm being told to tell you to begin working with moonstones. And I'm also being told to tell you to begin doing, which one? New and full moon releases in the state park. You'll know what park that is. There's a park you find dear. Not dear like the animal, but hold dear to your heart. That's where you're called to go. You also have some memories at the beach, so go visit a beach. And also burn things that aren't serving you. Not like physically burn things, but like write it down and burn it. And I'm being told to ask you, is there anything you'd like to say to the ones that you love most that are no longer here? It's time for you to start talking to them the way you would if they were here. Because they're definitely one of your guides. They're here supporting you and guiding you. And they're just waiting for you to acknowledge them in the same way you would if they were here. Because just because you may not see them, you do feel them, but you're so disconnected, you're not always aware of when they're there. Dream time is special for you. I'm being told to tell you it's time for you to be intentional and stop allowing others to control your energy. You've lost control of your own energy. And now you're just in this chaotic space. So if your book launch is going to be great, you're being called to shift your energy. Okay, and I'm told to pull a card for you. Okay, so let me see. Someone said government name. Okay, lots of money. A lot that said, what deck of cards should someone who's never owned get? Is there a beginner's deck? No, there's not a beginner's deck. I would say allowing spirit to guide you. When I chose my first deck, I chose it the same way I did crystals. You know, there were two decks that stood out to me, and I literally held the deck in my hand, and the one that I felt the most vibration from, for me, that was how I determined if it was good. Your intuition will let you know, but just allow yourself to be guided. There's never any, right or wrong or beginners. We're all being called to be spirit led and to allow our soul to guide us. So whatever that deck is, your soul will know. Just go with the one that stands out. It doesn't matter. I told you guys I'm the frugal, aka cheap queen. Normally I pick the cheapest anything, right? As long as it's quality. Now don't get me wrong. I like quality for a really low price, right? So I'm not the type that cuts corners and raggedy just because it's cheap. But, the deck wasn't cheap, but it was the one my soul was gravitating towards. So allow your soul to guide you. Let's see. Okay, Rory Sung, thank you. I remember you told me, and I was like, wait, was it sung or sang? So thank you. Sana said, yep, State Park is the beach. Okay, and I miss you so much. I had to get out of a toxic environment, which was work. And I'm hearing the toxic environment is within you now. So part of, being in the beach will allow you to cleanse. What you're being called to do is to really cleanse yourself, mind, body, and spirit, mind, body, and soul, because I'm hearing you're filled with chaos and confusion right now. It's like, what to do. What serves your highest good. But I'm just feeling like there's so much energy that was around you that has now become a part of you. It's almost like an imposter, like alien. I know this sounds crazy, but like aliens invading you. That's kind of how it's coming through. Like that energy somehow found a way in, and now it's kind of just a part of you. So whereas at one point you may have reacted differently to situations, or you may have handled situations in a different way, now the way you're handling things, it hinders you. Okay, I'm just hearing, how can she be back in the energy of her birth self? Like when she first entered this earth. It's about taking it back to basics is what I'm hearing. And also there's some healing that you're being called to do. Every positive outcome that you're seeking is dependent on that healing. And what I'm being told to tell you is like, you can't pile energy on top of energy, right? And it's coming through like, okay, this energy that spirit is bringing up, it's like if that energy has invaded and has entered into your energetic space, and then you go and you take all the things that you know and that positive energy and you're attempting to pile it on top, what I'm seeing, it's almost kind of like, okay, I'm hearing Venus flytrap, but it's not what I'm visualizing. That's what I'm hearing. But it's almost like it opens up and it swallows it. So all that positive energy that you attempt to put on top is being swallowed by that energy that you're being called to heal. Okay? And so let me go ahead and put these back in, because Spirit said to pull from this deck for you. And look at that. Third eye chakra, and it came in upside down. So the reason why it's coming in upside down is because Spirit's saying this is an indication that it's a block of some sort. And literally what we're speaking of now, it's literally blocking your intuition from being as strong as it is. And part of how you navigate your way into success or abundance in all areas of your life is being spirit led, right? So when we have this energy that may be chaotic around us, like you weren't on from the beginning, but when I first came back out, I went in to purchase this tea. And I came out and someone was sitting where I was sitting, and the gentleman, like in the shot of the live, there's a police standing behind me, right? So they escorted this gentleman off. And at first, when I first got on, I could feel the chaos in my energy, right? So when I did the breathing with everyone, I was able to also calm myself. But just from being in that environment, that wasn't even my junk, but it affected my energy. So imagine if it were me having that encounter with the police, how affected my energy would be, right? And that's kind of how it's coming through for you. It's like that energy is hindering your ability to really be in your power. And I'm just hearing you're being called now to shift. You're so great and powerful. Now it's just about making a choice without excuses. And Spirit says it's not like she's consciously making excuses, but excuses come from fear. It's not even a consciousness, but I'm hearing unless you're being spirit led and doing what spirit is leading you to do, then that's what it is. Some of us will call it an explanation. And spirit is saying for all of us, not just you, but if that explanation isn't in alignment with what spirit is saying, then it's really just an excuse that's rooted in fear. Step outside of fear and allow yourself to be blessed. And I'm being told to look at the bottom of the deck. Partnerships and alliances. Partnership and alliances. I just heard it's time for you to make it happen. You're ready. You got this. Your angels are surrounding you and supporting you. There is no lack and there is no loss. If you experience it, it's because you're creating it. Step out of the way. We're here to bless you. We're here to guide you. All the things you speak of, we're here to deliver. How are you in your own way? Okay, thank you. So that's the message that I got for you. I know it went a little deeper than just the book, but that's what was coming up. So let's see. A lot that said, Miss Shawn, are you still on? Sona said, I made a choice. Awesome. I just did make a partnership. Awesome. Awesome. Great. Great. So, and Rory Sung, were you planning to get a reading as well? If you are, please let me know. Let's see. I was just checking and see if anything came in from anyone before. So if you're interested, you guys just let me know so I don't log off before. Awesome. Awesome. I just heard, what are you doing about your healing? Heard everything starts there. You will continue to receive opportunities, but the outcome lies there. I just heard, let her sit with that. She'll understand what we're saying. It'll hit her eventually, and she'll take action. She's very wise, and she'll allow her soul to come through and speak to her. Okay, so yeah. Awesome. Okay, I was just told to tell you to meditate. Meditate on this entire message. And then, okay. That was for me, I heard. And then when she receives it, she'll let you know. Oh, thank you so much, Cheryl. We all do. That's the thing. We all do. We all do. It really is just about healing and unpacking all the junk that buries it. We all have this amazing gift. Every last one of us. Every last one of us. So, yeah. And literally, like, I kid you not, like, when you are just in that zone of being totally spirit led, it's just amazing. Life is so easy. Life is so easy. You know, it's just flowing. It's flowing. And we all have this. So, Sona said, yes, you were right about the fear. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. I just adore your energy. It's amazing. It's amazing. So, yeah. Is there anything else? I was just told just to tell you all to just be at peace with who you are and where you are on your journey. You know what I mean? And I'm being told to tell you to search beyond the obvious. Search beyond the obvious, right? So here's what I'm being told to tell you when that came through. What Spirit is saying, sometimes we'll get a message, right? We'll get a message either from Spirit or from a psychic that gives us a message. And depending on where we are, we'll take that message and we'll say, this message is talking about this, right? Because we're not fully ready to accept what the message is actually talking about. So when you get a message, because that's how the mind works, the mind is like, oh, that's a little deep. I ain't really ready for that. But guess what? This seems like this could fit. You know, think of a puzzle. There's pieces that seem like it could fit. You can even push it and kind of make it fit, but somewhere it's still raised a little bit. It's not moving, but it doesn't create that picture. Once you look at it, it's like, wait, that don't belong there, right? So when you get a message, even if you think you know what Spirit is referring to, meditate and ask and be open to receive. Because the mind will play tricks on us at times. So, yeah. Let's see. Sona said, I've been procrastinating on the cell phone. I've been pushing through. Okay. Have you got in touch with why that is? And Rory said, yes, please. I just shared the link with you. Go ahead and click it. And then when you put your $20 through Rory Sung, let me know by posting your question in the comments, okay? Let's see.
I was going to ask you what happened earlier. Were you here when they arrested the guy?
I was. I don't know, though. He came out of Starbucks and he was sitting there and the police just walked up to him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know if
questions or?
Yeah, and they knew him by name.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. The police got something out, like a warrant or something.
I don't know. It seemed like maybe he was disruptive somewhere and something with his hand. He was,
wow.
you know, they were asking him how was his hand, but he was just saying like, I have to work and I'm going to get fired. Like I could tell something, you know, mentally was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was pretty upset about it.
Oh, I know. I kept hearing him calling him names and stuff.
Like yeah. Thank you for your help earlier.
You're welcome.
You too. Oh, it's 12:12. I've been missing you guys. Can you tell? Fear of failure. Okay. And I'm sure even when you say that out loud, you know that fear of failure is what's creating the failure, right? Because there is no such thing as failure. The only failure there is when we don't do it, when we don't move, you know, when we allow that fear to keep us paralyzed. So, and this is what Spirit was saying. It's like, you know, right? You know what to do. You know how. Logically, you know. But it's that unconscious aspect that Spirit is saying it's time to heal, right? That's part of it. So Cheryl said I was laughing about when you were talking about trying to make the piece of the puzzle fit, right? Because we'll take a piece of, I've done it, you guys, and I haven't put a puzzle together in a very long time, but I've done it where you're just tired of looking for that piece and you are like, you know what, it's taking a little bit, but we are going to make you fit, right? We're gonna make, I feel like Raggedy Andy, we're gonna make you fit, and we just push it, and now it's like, ooh, it's in there, and we're looking at it like, yeah, but that doesn't match, right? And we do that on our journey, you know? So, yeah. Good, good, good. Alatha, you guys remember earlier when I told you that there's times where, Alatha, are you still on? I believe you are. Remember when I told you guys there's times where Spirit will have me tell the soul family and Rim, like, go on live and just pick names randomly from the family members and do a reading. And just now, Spirit told me to ask Alatha to share with Sona, is it Sona or Sana? What that message is referring to for her. Are you still on, Alatha? Yes, good, good. I don't know if Alatha's still on. I believe so. Sona. Okay. I was saying it right the first time. Thank you. Maybe after saying it right all day, I said sauna because it feels like a sauna. Yeah. I'm going to wait. I know it's a little delayed, and I believe Alatha's still on. I just heard it's because of that energy that's not yours. It's exhausting to carry that around. It's not authentic to your vibration. Detach from it and heal it. Detach from it and heal the spaces that created the opening. Mm-hmm. I'm being told to pull one more card collectively. And Roy Sung, I'm still here, so obviously I'm here, but just let me know. I'm mostly saying it out loud so that I don't forget. Just let me know. This is for us collectively. Take that one. Okay, it came in upside down, but I'm going to turn it right side up. Imrama, where are you being called to journey? Where are you being called to journey to? And what are you being called to do to get you there? And Spirit is saying to read from the book. Okay. Is it going to be in the... Let's see. Is it in the activation section? I believe so. Because doesn't that feel like an activation? Where are you being called to journey to? Yep, it's in the activation. It says the Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul, a voyage on which we don't know where we are going, but our soul knows the way. If you pull this card, you are either being called on a soul journey or are already on one. It could be a physical, ancient place or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place, both within us and to the planet as well. You're being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it is the journey to the world's sacred sites, or called to cross the country, climb a mountain, lie on the desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage is impossible, journey through the portal of your heart. Follow the invisible soul trail and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie about a sacred time or place. Perhaps you're being called to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whether your circumstances, your soul is ready to journey deep. See? When I got this, I felt this is for all of us, but Sona Spirit still helping you to figure out the real deep part of that message. It says, work your light activation is hold the card to your heart and say, I'm going to hold it to my heart and connect to all of your energies. So I'm also holding it for you. May seeds of light long ago planted begin to rise. I am ready to remember ancient secrets from lands that my soul knows from times past. May I be held by the ancient lineages that my soul has served and remember that I don't have to do it all alone. Beautiful. So on point. So on point. You're so welcome, Cheryl. Sona said, I was called to the UK in January. I said yes, in spite of not knowing how much or how it was going to work out. And that is a beautiful step in the right direction. And I'm going to cancel delete right in the direction that serves your highest good. Beautiful step there. Beautiful step there. I believe Alatha must be gone because she didn't answer that question. Oh, yeah. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Rory Sung, are you still on? Are you doing the personal mini read? If not, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a little more time. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to pull one more card. Or I keep saying one more. I'm going to pull another card because it'll keep being one more until Spirit says for us collectively. And then I'm going to get the rest of the general readings done. Oh, look at that. Fertility. So, you know what? Sona Spirit's still talking to you because I kid you not. When you were talking, there was something else that came through. And I was waiting for Spirit to tell me if I was being called to say that to you or if I was being called just to have it for myself. But what I was receiving was that step in the direction that serves your highest good. Just like with your book launch, it's up to you how that turns out. So yes, the step is great, but the healing is also necessary because if we are stepping where we're guided, that's good. But then when we get there, what are we doing, right? When we get there, we're stepping. When we get there, are we self-sabotaging? Are we creating blocks? Or are we fully in that abundant state, right? So, and I'm being told this is not just for you, this is for everyone. So the reason why fertility is upside down is because when we have those blocks, that's what we're doing. We're blocking ourselves from, I'm hearing blossoming, growing, and being fertile. And what was coming through also, it's almost like, if you see dirt, right, and you have seeds, or you have dirt and you plant grass, like you can have grass on your lawn, but is that grass green? Or is it dead, right? And so this is the message that Spirit is telling us, that it's really important for us to not just push through the fears, but to heal the things that created the fears in the first place, right? And keeping that metaphor in mind with the lawn. Like, yes, we can have all the materials, we can even be watering our grass. But if we're not watering at the time that the lawn soaks up the most moisture, then we're kind of going through the motions and we're spinning our wheels. So taking action, for all of us, taking action through our fears is definitely it's a step in the direction that serves our highest good. But then what? And then when we do that, then what, right? We're being called to unpack and to heal. Okay, say it again. I'm hearing because there's a lot of things that keep us from our destiny that are rooted in fear, and that's rooted in those unhealed places. So it's almost like weeds, right? Weeds. If we go and cut the weeds, they're going to keep growing. So we're being called to go to the root and up. What? Okay, say it again. One at a time, please. Okay. I'm hearing upheaval, but I'm also hearing cut it off at the root, you know, literally pull it all the way up. So that's what we're being called to do. They're excited. They're like, you ain't been live in a minute. It's like, I'm calm down, slow down, one at a time. Ease me back in. So, a lot to say, yes, I'm here. Don't even do what? I'm lost a lot. This help me, please. So I said, just like I got denied for a loan for my son's education, and I'm still seeking solutions for that. Okay, so what I just received is you'll find a solution for that when you step out of lack. And here's the thing, you know what? And I'm hearing fear of lack. And you know what? I always say that where our greatest fears lie is where our purpose lies. And I know that that is your calling, and that is how you serve, right? And so as Spirit was giving your message, you know what I mean? And speaking of that energy where somewhere there was that energy of you got lost, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. And then the third eye. So on my own, I'm not always able to find solutions. You know, most often when I'm doing it on my own, those solutions are not found, right? But when Spirit is guiding me, which again requires that third eye card to be upright, then that's when all of the solutions are found. However, when I'm in that place of fear, okay, I'm hearing it's difficult to be in that place of abundance. It's difficult to be in that place of service. And it's difficult to be in that place of answering my calling. So what you're experiencing is residue. It's residue. You know, it's residue. I share with my RIM Soul family how I was preparing for a sacred bath, and my son, who's my youngest, who's 15, I'm like, there is no reason why you're 15 and you're not cleaning the tub thoroughly, right? So I'm like, okay, get the stuff. I put it in. I'm like, show me how you clean it, right? Because even if you can't see that that's a ring, if you just go, you know how you vacuum and you vacuum over, I'm like, if you do that to the tub, you're going to get it clean. Don't miss the spot, right? So as I'm sitting there, I start to hear like the self-talk that I know, and I may have shared it with you guys too, but that I know is not how I talk to myself. And I'm literally sitting there thinking, am I going to have to perform an exorcism on myself? Like what low vibrating energy done took over and attempting to make me hate myself? You know what I mean? And what Spirit said is that's the thing, that it's residue, and you're being called to heal that in this sacred bath. You know, they were playing with me because they were like, gotcha, you were scared. I was like, absolutely. You know, I'm thinking, okay, how we going to combat this, you know? So right now you're living in your residue is what I'm being told. Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, the links are actually in the description box. So when you're ready for your private reading, just go ahead and click and then we can do that. Like I said, there's a 3-question recorded reading. You have a virtual face-to-face half-hour reading, and then also a virtual face-to-face hour reading. So whichever one your soul gravitates towards, it'll be great. A lot that says, Sona, did you have any doubts about your partnership or place you're launching? Yeah, no, not focused on lack. Not focused on lack. It's not a focus like a conscious focus. It's more of an unconscious thing. And the way that unconscious mind works, it'll be things that are appearing and we're not even consciously aware that it's appearing, right? Because here's the thing, if we're in an energy, it doesn't have to be a lack in finances. Oftentimes when we think lack, we think we're referring to finances, but it doesn't have to be a lack there. You know what I mean? You know, when Spirit was talking about like your response to things. So if something happens in my life and I respond and I get angry, the reason why I'm angry is because I'm in a lack state of mind, right? I don't fully believe that everything that happens in my life serves my highest good. That's a form of lack, right? So that's what Spirit said. So I would say just really, meditate, because it's not always a conscious thing, or it's not always, the cut and dry, obvious thing. It's much deeper, especially when you're someone that is aware, someone that is aware and that is knowledgeable about things. It's not always right there on the surface. Oftentimes it's much deeper. Okay, so I had one guy that just said, go ahead and tell her, Nahkila. And I had one guy that said, give Alatha more time and see how it unfolds with what Alatha's saying. So Alatha said, did you have any doubts about your partnerships or place you're launching? And Sona said, only doubts I've had was being able to do the book funnel. That's what I received. Congratulations on your book launch. Yes, amazing. So Alatha, how can she serve herself to work through the things that came up today? Just check in and ask Spirit for that answer. How can she serve herself to work through the things that came up today? And what do you receive? And anyone else that's on. And even Sona, you do the same. Like, take some deep breaths and disconnect from everything that we've all been talking about, and just take some deep breaths and ask Spirit that question and see what you receive. A funnel is a marketing sales tool. So basically, you have an email list, you create an offer, it's set up, the funnel set up to where people that purchase, they get a separate email. People that don't, they get a separate email. It's like a whole, you know what I mean? It's basically a marketing tool, Alatha. Because a lot was asking what's a book funnel. You can use it for anything. I don't use funnels, oddly enough. I just don't. That's just me, though. I know that everyone who does this work that I do. And I don't know, maybe one day I will, but it just doesn't resonate with me personally, I'm actually, I've been manifesting to have a really solid person that specializes in marketing join my team. Just recently had someone who does branding join, and when we're done with my project, we're going to announce her to you guys all publicly. But I've been manifesting that. What was it, like almost a year ago? I had someone set up a funnel, and it just, at the time, it just didn't resonate. And so right now, I just haven't been led to create that on my own. Everything is pretty much me sending what Spirit guides me to send and sharing offers when Spirit guides me to share it. I'm not saying it's not in the future, but right now, and it works. I mean, it works. Those emails that you get from most people, it's a funnel, it's a part of a funnel. So like, it tags you. Say if I offer the Reiki class we're having in October, and Alatha, if you were to sign up or enroll based on that email, then you would get put in another email category, and then you would begin receiving emails from the person that enrolled, right? And if you didn't, then you would get put in another email category and start receiving emails based on that, so it's just a marketing tool, basically. Sona said, I wanted to learn it, but I had the wrong person working with me. Well, you were choosing to learn it, you know? You were choosing to learn it. So he was removed from me. Yeah. Yeah. It was the same. I had someone I was working with, and I understand that our connection was for multiple reasons. It was number one, I was able to plant seeds in that person as it relates to their awakening. And then also, it was so funny because I was like, well, I learned patience, and it was also a test of my faith because Spirit told me to work with this person. And what we agreed on, I didn't get any of that. And so literally I was on the phone with my mom and I was like, what did I get from it? And then I get out of my car to go get this cupcake from this little vegan bakery. And I see this car and on the rack top, it said design. So what I actually learned was how to get better at creating and designing my own graphics. And that was what I got from it. You know what I mean? So it was a purpose, even though it wasn't what we went into it thinking it would be, or I went into it thinking it would be. So yeah. Yeah, yeah. There's always a purpose in everything. You know what I mean? There's a purpose in everything. When I first started my business, I was doing all of my own marketing. And then I felt like I was at the point where it just, it wasn't enough. Like I felt it was time to bring in an expert, and the person presented it in that way, but they weren't an expert in that. They were more of an expert in the graphic type stuff. And it was okay because I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I would have still been making graphics that look like a kindergartner made them otherwise. And again, there were seeds that were being planted that person is going to take with them, and when their soul is ready, they'll sprout. So it was purpose there. So at this point, my marketing consists of Spirit telling me when to offer stuff, when to create stuff, how to create it, how to offer it. And it's great. Any person that comes on my team, that'll be something for them to understand, is that Spirit is still leading it all, and it has to get Spirit's stamp of approval before we move forward in any way. So with the strategies that we use. Oh, good. Cheryl said, look at some YouTube videos that teach you about how to use the particular funnel platform you're using, Sona. Sona said, I got the information. Now I just got to finish it, and I'm launching a course as well. Awesome. That's so awesome. Awesome. I just heard it's also time for her to take a time out and dissect herself. That's for all of you. And they're saying all of you, including me, because you're all being propelled into the next level, the next phase, the next layer of your journey. That's for all of us, okay? But they're saying you. So I'm just repeating it that way. So yeah. Okay. Um so okay. So here's the funny thing of how Spirit is always testing us, right? So I'm gonna first start with what I was told to tell you first. So Sona, what I was told was the message you were receiving was talking about the RIM group mentorship because you received that, right? And Spirit is saying it's time for you to move forward in that, right? And then that message of how our mind can take things and make those pieces fit because we're not fully ready to accept the message that's coming through. But what Spirit is doing right now is also testing me because I've been saying, because Spirit said, don't be afraid. And okay, Spirit, I don't really know if we call it fear. But anyways, I've been saying all weekend, I've been telling everyone how before I was really uncomfortable presenting things or offers, and Spirit was like, well, this is why you're here. And I was saying how I don't feel that anymore. Now I have no issue with doing that. I'll present what Spirit tells me to. And literally, this is why Spirit guides it, because if it were left up to me, I'd just be sitting here doing this all day. You know what I mean? I wouldn't know when to offer or what to offer. Right. And so Spirit was saying, do it. But this is also a testament to how we're tested. Right. So I've said I've overcome that. And so instead of Spirit just saying, give this to her, tell her this is what it is, Spirit did this whole roundabout way right? To give the lesson of how we make those pieces fit, and to see, Nahkila, for real, are you really? Let's see. So that's part of what your message was. It's time. It's time. And meditate again if you are being called to, but it's definitely time. It will help you with all the things that just came up. So, and so Spirit says, don't wait for the funds to join. Manifest them. Manifest them. You'd be surprised. You may. I was gonna say, because you know this, but I was gonna say, but I'm still surprised every time Spirit shows up for me. And I know that it's possible, but I'm still in awe every time like it's the first time. So yeah. Okay. So what I just heard was, take some time when you're dealing with the moon's energy to be very specific on that in itself. When we're talking about dissect how it can help you, why it can help you, what are the results of it, and just focus on that during this session that you have with yourself. And I'm hearing, because from that, you'll manifest a world of abundance. Just being very specific and not so general. Sometimes we're just manifesting funds to cover everything. But just be specific on that. Literally take separate time outside of your normal manifesting. I'm being told to tell you have time and space to create. I just heard, don't blur the lines. And I was like, okay. And then I was just told, nope, don't ask for clarity on that. Just tell her that, don't blur the lines. And I'm still sitting here about to ask for clarity because I'm curious. If you know what that means, please share. I'm like, oh, wait, Spirit just said, don't ask for clarity. Awesome. You don't understand? Go to your soul. Take some deep breaths. And, part of the list, if we say like, I don't know, or I don't understand, that actually is a form of lack. So we can replace it with, I haven't processed that yet, right? So because you are connected to infinite wisdom, we all are. So we either haven't processed it yet, or we have, you know what I mean? So just take some deep breaths, like close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and ask your soul, what does that mean? Don't blur the lines. And the first thing you get, type it, let us know, and just keep asking the question over and over as you're breathing. Don't blur the lines. And then whatever you get, let us know. Yeah, I figured you did a lot. I figured you did know what they were, the funnels. Yes. Sona said, well, I haven't processed that yet. And Cheryl said, words are very powerful. They are. I'm still, look, it's almost gone. I'm still sipping. At the conference, I had shared with everyone, and I've shared this with you guys before, but I'm being told to share it again, how when, speaking of funnels, Infusionsoft, right? I was investing. I was told it was great. And so I was like, okay, I told the guy on the phone, I'm going to meditate and see if this serves my highest good, and I'll get back to you, or you can call me back in about an hour, right? And so he said, okay. And so I decided to get my pendulum out, because that day I had a really busy day and I really was not willing to take the time out to just stop and full on just meditate, go on to a meditation session. So I asked Spirit, I said, should I invest in Infusionsoft? Now see how there's no coincidences. We're talking about funnels, and now this story's coming up too. So anyways, I said, should I invest in Infusionsoft? And I got no. Well, instantly when I got that no, Spirit brought into my consciousness, oh, that was lack. So I asked the question, does it serve my highest good to invest in Infusionsoft? And I got a yes. Then I asked Spirit, Did I get the no because I used lack language and I got a yes? So I went through that so I could have a story to share with all of you that speaks to the power of our words and how our words can literally affect the answers we receive from the divine. I never would have thought that, but Spirit's not in the habit of saying, we know that the divine is all knowing, but Spirit's not going to say, okay, well, she said this, but she meant this, or he said this, but he meant this. No, Spirit is straight up what you speak, because free will is free will. And if Spirit goes around talking about, well, I think she means, I think he means, and of course we know that's not how Spirit's putting it. I'm being funny right now, but you get what I'm saying, right? So it really is powerful. It really is powerful. So Cheryl said, Sana said, only thing I'm getting is teach the facts. Well, if that's what you're getting, that's the message. That's the message. Yeah. And don't rush. Yeah. Cheryl said that's probably the reason why word and world are so similar. Right. Because we create our world in part by the words we speak, And this is the thing. If you guys think about everything that's taught on law of attraction, everything from The Secret to everything else, the one component that's not heavily touched on is the power and depth of our words, right? It's not touched on. Yeah, maybe a little. Yeah, maybe, but it's not the main focus. But it's like, we can be speaking in lack and we can be believing in abundance, and all the other steps can be all aligned, right? But if we're speaking lack, we're still diminishing our power. But if everything is aligned and we're vibrating fully at that frequency of abundance, that's when things just start to seem to happen like magic. Like, I kid you not, I can't stress enough. Like, I'm really being mild with it. But when I tell you that life has just become one magical miracle, one abundance after the other, for me, it's so true. It's so true. Seriously, I told you, this move was not cheap. I'm thinking I'm going to wait for my settlement. It's been all manifested. But when there's things that have come up that felt like a punch in the gut, I was like, oh, thank you. That didn't hurt at all. In fact, it felt good. What else you got, right? I stayed in that mindset. They were just tests, right? They were just tests. So, yeah. Right. Spelling, our words that we write, our words that we speak, they cast spells. Yeah. Carta, Sona said, Carta serves me because it does everything. A one-place platform. Yeah, I've heard about that. When I first created the Grow Your Soul's Purpose into Your Soul Income course, I used Teachable. But now my VA just has it set up where we just use my website for it, so I don't pay that monthly fee. So, yes, emotion is energy in motion. Yes. Hey, Tia Lynn. It is okay. We have just been chatting it up. I've been doing the personal mini reads and we're just hanging out. I've missed you guys. Can you tell? So, yeah. So, I just heard the world is yours. The world is yours. It's yours. They may have taught us it's not, because we pay for natural resources like water and electricity and land. You know what I mean? But the world is yours. The world is yours. And there's nothing that this world can create that's stronger than you when you're tapped into that unwavering faith and allowing yourself to be guided by the divine. There's nothing. It's all energy. So I keep feeling like there's something on my nose and on my face, like a spider web or something. So, yeah. So is anyone else interested in a personal reading? I'm going to post it one last time. And then if you are, let me know while you go over and put your payment in. And if not, let me know. And I will pull one more card for us as a collective. And then I am going to actually do the rest of the general readings for this month. And and someone ordered the 3-question reading. I'm going to do that first and then run a few errands. Bless you. I was told to tell you to stop waiting for the sun to shine and pull that bad boy out. And then you guys know that song Pocket Full of Sunshine, Natasha Bedingfield. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and get that song and put it in the comments so you guys can listen to it, okay? And then Spirit's now talking about the rest is still. So let's see. You guys may have heard it, but I'm gonna look. I put in POCKE and Pocket Full of Sunshine. The first thing that came up. Okay, Spirit says send the one with the lyrics because I was gonna send you.
Writing's not that easy.
I was gonna send you guys the one with the video, you know. And Spirit says send the one with the lyrics. So okay. Okay, so there's the song Pocket Full of Sunshine. If I were to play it while we're live, they'd probably not show the video, because of copyright issues. It's not like Facebook where you say, I do not own the rights to this song, and then it's all good, That's not how YouTube works, right? But listen to that song, you guys. Listen to it. Because Spirit literally says, stop waiting for the sun to shine. I thought I already did Virgo. Did I not? If not, I'll do Virgo first. If I didn't, I'll do it first. Let me see. I'm going to check it out and see. And let me see what the title is for Virgo. Because you know what? Spirit, I was sharing on all the videos how Spirit had me do it different this month. Yeah, I did Virgo. Have enough patience to allow yourself to win. So what Spirit had me do was write all the signs down and then write the title and just deliver the message without the cards and then pull a card to wrap it up. Virgo's posted. It's in the playlist for August general readings. Let me just check to make sure there wasn't an issue with it uploading or anything. Let's see. There's a breeze coming in. It feels good. Okay. So we have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Leo, Virgo, Sagittarius, Aries, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini that's done. So I just have 2 more to do for the Earth sign. Yep, that's all. But Virgo has been done. Virgo's been done. So it's there. And Cheryl, I know you have your notifications on. You know, those of you that don't, turn them on and you'll get notified when I do videos. But I did it before I even left. I did it before I left. I may even be wearing the same shirt. You guys will see me rotating between clothes because, you know, I have 2 suitcases. All the rest of the stuff is in the pod. So I'm rotating. You're so welcome. So welcome. Yes, ma'am. They're $20 for the mini reads. Yes, they are. I keep going to this cup like there's more in it. Which one? Okay. Okay, so Spirit just reminded me to pull another card for us. I just heard Alatha, you're so special. Get to work. Like it came through like, Alatha, you're so special. Get to work. Like, okay. I concur. That one. Okay. Oh, look, it came in upside down. Prosperity begins. So right now for our you know what's so funny? We have material harvest that was upside down. And now we got prosperity begins that's upside down. And look, what was the metaphor we used earlier about the grass, you know? And here we have the seeds, the dirt. But look at that. Look at that. Okay, so as I'm looking at this card, what Spirit is saying is to really look at this card, right? Look at this card. You have this nut, this seed that's in the ground. You see those roots and you see this tree that's grown, right? Now, if you look at it, it looks like growth, abundance, prosperity, fertility, right? But then you see the hand, right? So what Spirit is saying in this picture for today's message, the fact that prosperity begins came in upside down, is that's someone else's prosperity. And those hands is the spot where your prosperity is growing. And with your hands, you're blocking it. So Spirit is saying you're blocking your abundance. You're blocking your prosperity. Your seed has been planted just the same, right? And it's time to get out of your way. So today there were some things that came up for us collectively. There were some things that came up for individuals that are going to help with getting out of the way and just lifting your hands. Just lifting your hands and allowing it to grow. Okay? Yes. So that was for August. That was for August. It's in the playlist for August general readings. So that's the other thing too. When I get settled, the readings are going to all be posted much earlier in the month. There was one point where I started doing that, but with everything going on, it's just been a game of musical chairs, you know? So yeah, definitely looking forward to getting settled so that things can be just, you know, delivered to you earlier. But you guys notice I get my Buzz Lightyear on. I always say it's whatever the month is in the year and beyond, because it doesn't matter. Like it's really more or less delivering a message to you each month, right? It's not necessarily just specific for that month and year, right? That's really what it is. It's just a message each month. So Cheryl said, got it. Sona said, yep. Okay, so Tia Lynn said, my question is about employment and business venture next steps. I haven't gone live in a minute for updates. I just heard, what would she like to do for work? What would you like to do for work? Spirit is doing that a lot, or a lot. I'm saying a lot, but this is the second time where Spirit has done that. When Sona did her question, Spirit asked a similar question. I'm hearing it's because they're being pushed into their power. So if you could do anything for work, because what Spirit said is right now it's about you finding an investor, which will be your job, right? So that you can build your calling. So if you could do anything for work that would make that process feel good for you each day, what would it be? Okay. And I'm being told to go ahead and shuffle cards while you're answering. What would that be for you, Tia Lynn? Look at that. Firm foundation, and it's upside down. Pull from the bottom. Suffering in silence, not upside down. Pull from the top. That one came in upside down. It is upside down. Material and spiritual prosperity. Okay. But I'm turning them all right side up so we can shift the energy now. But what would that be for you? And I'm going to wait until you answer that. My knuckles are swollen from all the like literally doing that. It hurts. Somebody please create knuckle protectors for psychics that clear their decks like that. Okay, so what I was receiving is you're really turned on by kids. Now, do not take this the wrong way, guys, please, because it's not in that way. Turned on, like you're activated, but it came through you're turned on, right? So children create movement in your energy, right? Anything dealing with you working with children is going to create a vibration of abundance for you. So what Spirit is saying is we're either off or we're on. There's no place in between. You have a joy and a dedication to children that helps your vibration elevate. And part of the reason why your vibration is elevated is because you do get joy just from seeing them in that space of their glow. And I'm feeling more like that glow and that twinkle in their eyes, but then also a result of serving them, helping them to stay in their light or reclaim their light, elevates your vibration, right? Tia Lynn said, yes, that's true. So, have you ever considered I'm hearing working in a childcare facility, and then I heard or being a personal nanny. Have you ever thought about that? And I don't mean just like like a minimum wage paying nanny. I mean, there's nannies that are in-home nannies where you have your own space. Depending on the family you work for, they may have a pool house that you're staying in. You know what I mean? But you have your own space. Your daughter's able to live there. They'll have a vehicle that you're able to drive. Okay, I'm hearing something like that could really work for you and give you the time and space to build what you're building. So if this is something that, as I say that you're feeling like, that it resonates with you, then start putting it out there to Spirit what that looks like for you and how it would allow you to build in your purpose, right? So I'm hearing a wealthy family for sure. And where there's set hours, not where you're just like, I'm here 24/7. I take care of the family, like all day, every day, because that's not going to give you room and space to grow into what you're being called to do. Okay. So Spirit said, ask you how that resonates before I go on into the next thing. And look up 6-6. TLN 6-6. Look that up. A lot of that I was listening to Sagittarius right before you came this morning. TLN said it doesn't makes me feel hesitant either. I don't like it. So the whole nanny thing. Is it the live-in part? You're so welcome, Malata. Thank you. TLN, is it the live-in part? Okay. I just heard, nope, that's for her. So what I'm being told to ask you, right, that's exactly what I was about to ask you. That's exactly it. What is it about that, right? Because here's the thing. I'm hearing she's not meant to stay there. We're talking about your investor, right? We're talking about your investor as you build your firm foundation, right? Now that card did come in upside down. But as you build your firm foundation, this is what we're talking about. Something that you can do in the meantime that's going to allow you to serve, but also allow you to make enough to where you can live comfortably, have the time and the energy to pursue your passion and your purpose, right? So you said residual feelings of not liking kids, but I know for certain that I like kids. You see now? Okay, so listen, let me tell you something really quick, because it's funny you say that, because I was always that way too. Back in the day, I was like, I don't like nobody else's kids but my own, and I barely like them, you know? And I literally had an in-home daycare. When I was a military wife, right? So the things that I brought to those children was what their soul called for. It wasn't a permanent thing, but it was a thing that I was called to do in that moment. And I enjoyed it. It was the parents that, because it was in home, it was a legit daycare, it was, but sometimes when things are in home, people don't look at it as a business and they don't treat it as such, but I loved it, right? So it wasn't so much about me, and what I thought I didn't like. It was more about how I was being called to serve. It was another layer and level of serving. So I'd like you to go deep with your higher self and really get some feedback on that. And when you do, go live in RIM and share what you received, okay? And okay, thank you. So what I was about to say to you also was think about your childhood. Think about your childhood. And because you've had some pain centered around your childhood, part of your purpose is serving children. Some may have experienced the same pain, or they may just be experiencing the pain of having parents that require a nanny. You know what I mean? That to some is traumatic. That to some is painful. But there's definitely an aspect of your calling there. And look at this, suffering in silence. Sometimes they don't know who to talk to. Sometimes they don't know where to turn. And sometimes their parents can be willing to listen and be available, but they don't feel comfortable. You're meant to connect with a family that has light worker children, and your presence is going to help them. Give it a year, 2 years at the most. And then your job there will be done. And while you're there, you're going to still be pursuing your additional purpose and calling, the one that's meant to be lifelong. This is a temporary service, but it is a service that you're being called to do. So please, please, please get in touch with that. And that was me saying the please, please, please get in touch with that. But as I was saying, I was receiving too. And figure out the why that block is there. And then push through anyway. And set the intentions of what that looks like. Like you can literally have a family that respects your boundaries, that the pay is matching what you're seeking, and don't shortchange yourself, because you and I and all of us know that raising children or serving children takes a lot of energy. But you will have enough energy for yourself, your daughter, and what you're here to do. Play around with all the details by connecting to your guides, and then write it down, make it plain, and begin manifesting. Okay. And that noise from that truck is about being in motion, forward movement, action. And what was your other part? She said, okay. I didn't look at it that way. I just have never thought of that.
Absolutely no. I am actually. I came to the store that we just opened, and
I heard this is why Spirit is here to guide us, because there's so many things I never would have thought of either. Like Reiki. I never even had a desire to take Reiki ever. I never even thought of it. It was never a part of, I just never would have thought of it. I had received it, but I never would have thought I would have been down that road, right? And literally the school that I went to, it was one of the things they offered. And I'm that person. If I'm going to do anything, I'm doing the whole shebang, right? That was me at the time. Now I'm only doing what Spirit tells me to. But part of the whole shebang was Reiki. And that was how I got introduced to taking it. And even with the teaching, I told you guys in REM how I was lagging on that. And it wasn't until you guys had been reaching out that Spirit said, now it's time to teach a class. I was just like, okay, Spirit, I don't know why you had me take it, become the teacher. But when you're ready for me, you'll tell me, right? So a lot of things that we're called to do, it's not even anything that's in our psyche until Spirit brings it to the forefront. But I'm definitely receiving that it's not a permanent thing for you. 1 to 2 years. 1 to 2 years. You're meant to serve whatever family you connect with. And then you're going to receive too. And this is going to help your material prosperity begin. Okay, so what I'm hearing is because it does take a lot of energy, right, to give in general, but when you're serving children, it's even more. And so what you're now claiming is that anything I put out, all energy I put out, all positive energy I put out, I receive multiplied, and then however many fold you choose for it to be, right? It's also about stepping out on faith, doing something that's foreign, doing something that wasn't in our plan, allowing yourself to be totally and completely guided will create blessings for you. So what I'm hearing is really about a means of creating. It's a test. You're actually being tested. Okay, so what I'm being told to do is share you guys that Infusionsoft situation that I told you all about. Now, when I received the yes, it serves my highest good to invest in it, for me, Infusionsoft ended up being a total waste of money, and it was not cheap, right? And initially, I would have thought, well, how did that serve my highest good? I just wasted money on a system that I'm not even really using in its entirety. I'm barely using it. I'm using it for something that a free service could do, right? But it was so much deeper than that. It was so much deeper than that. So instead of me looking at it that way, I began to search for, how did it serve me, right? How did it serve me? And it was just a matter of trusting, learning to trust and learning to see below the surface that blessings. And when Spirit says it serves your highest good, it doesn't always come in a form that you may have initially thought it would. But it doesn't mean that it didn't serve you, right? Okay. Cheryl said, I need to start writing stuff down too. Well, you don't need to. It just serves your highest good. And Tia Lynn said, yeah, I really feel the urge to cry because it feels so foreign. And Sona said, yes. So yes, if it cry, let it out, get in touch with what part of it is making you feel that. And what I'm feeling as I say that is it stems from trust issues. I'm hearing it also allowing yourself to be helped by strangers. But in reality, you're being called to not look at it as you're being helped by strangers. And you're being called to look at it as you serving. And also you're sacrificing. And what do you receive from serving and sacrificing? Sacrificing in a way that serves you too. Because we're not called to sacrifice in a way where we're just putting ourselves out there and we're sacrificing and we're just like, hey, I'm a martyr, you know, use me, abuse me, I'm sacrificing. That's not how we're being called to sacrifice. But your sacrifice is doing something that initially may feel uncomfortable, right? But you're still receiving from it. I'm just being told to ask you, oh, I guess I won't be doing anything else. My battery is about to die. Not today. I guess I'll be doing that tomorrow, or maybe not even tomorrow. My son, I have an appointment for him to get his hair cut. And Spirit is saying, what would you have seen yourself doing? Tell me that before we die. Sona said, I felt that way at my job. And although you're going through some things with your job, what blessing can you identify is a result of you pushing through and being at that job? Sona said, my battery's dying too. I know, we've been on a lot longer than we usually are for Empower Hour. So, T. Lynn, you may not, I don't know if you'll receive that or give me that answer here, but I'd like for you to share it in REM. Like, you know, what would you have seen yourself doing? Because I feel like there's more layers that Spirit is going to have us pull back as you begin to unpack and receive and share. I'm going to receive more to give you even more. Huh. I have no clue, Nahkila, which feels so uncomfortable as well. So instead, it got me back from being reclusive. Also, okay, thank you. So part of what this is going to do, it's also going to show you the power that you have to manifest, because something that feels so foreign, and even your belief, like I had too back in the day, that you don't like children. Now I love children. Everybody's children. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's really weird, because now I'm just like, little light worker, is it okay for me to hug you? You know what I mean? Like it's a true love that I have now, you know? Whereas before I'm like, I'm not being bothered with nobody's kids, you know? But it's also going to be a testament for you of how powerful your manifesting is. So as you're doing this, think about like, how easy would it be? Like, what would the perfect child be like? You know, my youngest, now he gave me more of a hard time out of my two children, you know, just his pushback and stuff and his attitude. But his teacher told me if I had a class filled with samages, a classroom filled with samages, I'd have the perfect class, right? So think about what that looks like for you. Right? What would those children be like to make you feel like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing? Write it down and get in that energy of manifesting. Now that Spirit has said this is your investor, right? Now start to unpack the why you're feeling so uncomfortable, the why you're having all these feelings so that we can heal it, right? But then also create what would this situation look like where it not only didn't feel uncomfortable, but where it felt great. Okay. Sona said, brought me back around the world after my mom died. Alatha said, yeah, mine is on 30% because I've been connecting here and there. Cheryl said, we all should make deliberate manifesting fun. Yes. Tillin said, okay. Sona said I had to plug in. I was at 1%. And yeah, I'm here at Starbucks. So I'm like, where's my backpack? There's no plugs out here. So, but yeah, I'm curious to help you unpack this. I'm curious to know what you get. And I heard from this, you're going to gain more clarity on the next step of your purpose. This is your test. But as you're in your test, although Spirit is saying a year to 2 years, you're going to start receiving the blessings while you're in it. Like immediately, you'll start receiving. And part is going to be the clarity on why you're feeling how you're feeling. Part of that blessing starts there. Sona said, I will join before the meeting. What meeting are you referring to? And join what? Are you talking about REM before our group session? Alava said, Tia Lynn, your voice and smile alone will make a child want a hug from you, right? She's so gentle, but strong, you know, so gentle, so loving, so sincere, but strong, right? And children, that subtle strength, but also that willingness to allow them to be in their free will is what I'm receiving, is a part of who you are, which is something that children are sometimes lacking. You know, like parents are, because I said so, you know, that's how because I said so, you know, that's not really fair to children. Like, yes, explain to them. You know, my youngest son, his friend said he really loves how I explain things to my son. And the reason why I do it is because if he has an understanding of the why, then he can see the value in it and he can make a choice, right? To align himself with what I'm teaching him. But if I'm just because I said so, that doesn't feel good. Now you're going to rebel because I just made you feel like you don't matter. Like you're not deserving to know why. That's how we've been taught. It's not coincidental, you know. It's all about vibration. And if someone else, if we're not controlling our vibration, someone else is. And they know what they were doing. So, okay. It's awesome. Awesome. Our next group session is on the 28th of this month at 3:33 p.m. Pacific time. I'll be here, so that'll be 5:33 my time because I'm only 2 hours ahead here. Sona said, yes, I did that with my son. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. Sona said, okay. Yeah, you know, it's just, think about it. Everything we've been taught. Think about the things we've been taught and how it affects our vibration. Tia Lynn, I'm being told to tell you this is where you're being called to serve. And you remember that video that I did in RIM where I was talking about the reason why I hadn't scheduled any classes? I didn't even realize that it was rooted in fear. And I don't even know where that came from, right? But then when Spirit said now is the time, you know what I did? I just started meditating and calling on my guys to remove that so that when I serve, I'm serving from that place of confidence and knowing that Spirit is guiding it like everything else, right? And being in that unwavering faith, I know it's going to be great, right? So Spirit is all knowing. Something there for you and them is what I just keep getting that. I just heard it's a time to start over, a chance to start over. And then they literally said, but now we're getting into past life stuff. So,